Okay. How's it going, guys? You ready for this? Oh, actually, it's not gonna work today. Markets are closed. Yes, it's Good Friday. Markets are closed all day. Ooh, old coffee from yesterday. Boy, oh boy, do I need to hydrate. First of all, how's it going? Hope you guys are having an excellent morning. We are going to not only cover a little bit of the news that you should be aware of for today, but also make sure that you are caught up with the ticker symbols that you guys care about. So, as always, I acknowledge that there are many tickers in the world, none quite like our boys AMC and GME. However, I'm happy that if you guys wanted to, tell me what you guys are looking for. And today, we have plenty of time to go through it. Let me see now. While people file in, I am going to take a look at some art created by some Mo monkeys. Very, very cool. I'm going to be making a new shirt with this art and a new mug. Because it's such a good shirt. Dang. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this. Just waiting for a couple more people to show up. How's it going? Prakash, Las, Flavi, Kurai. Alt 4 press them, Mike Korakan. Waiting a little bit longer. Because as you know, it is a regular work day. People are working. Okay, so giving a little bit of work here before we get started. Meatball, you having a good day over there? Yeah? I think we need to look at some news together. Two of us. What do you think? Yeah? It's like, I would like some water. Me too. I'm thirsty as well. Wait. Perfect. Okay, continue. Meatball's like stonks today, huh? Stroke. Okay. Gotta add that to the store. Let's see who is here right now. How's it going? Why is volatility so low today, says Joshua. It could be that its stocks they are not open. They are not open right now. I am also looking for you guys to tell me your ticker symbol suggestions. So whoever puts it first, you're guaranteed first. So let me see. We have Kasi from Prakash. So Kasi, you're first. Brian Tootle, James Rudy. We got Kurai Oro, Angel Garcia, Got Life, Old Bones, New Flow, Hawk Sun, and Mahmoud. We got Apes Together Strong. Ooh, Apes Together Strong. Is this the movie, people? Is this the Mulligan Brothers? Apes Together Strong. Okay, so let me see. It's going to be a slow morning. You might even say it's going to be a morning with absolutely no volume whatsoever. But we still have the charts here directly in front of us, so there's plenty of news to cover and stuff to learn. And that's one to grow on. Okay, so let me go here. Then I need to disable, what am I going to disable here? guess this for now. Someone is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this name stay around. Okay. So just gearing up, getting ready, having a solid day. How's everyone else's day right now? Good Friday. Got Life says, good Friday. Good Friday to you. Oh, man. Michael Henderson. So this is more of like a private chat, honestly, right? Because we're just gathering some people, right? We're getting geared up. We have Michael Henderson saying, update because I just watched The Last More Money. I appreciate all the uploads and like as many as you can without affecting your personal life. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, Michael. Of course. Happy Friday, says Phil Cook. Let's see, Matthew Davenport. I usually don't have time to read all the DD, so I listen to your channel in the background while I work. And yes, I'm subscribed. Very nice. All right, Tesla. Someone wants to get a Tesla. HOFV, Jason McKinney today for sure. You're going to be able to get that. Awaken and Bacon. Good morning from Oregon. How's it going? Okay, so Cassie is first, and then we have this DTCC 2021-005. Right? They had 003. That was 2 weeks ago. Then 004. That was last week. And 005 this week. So DTCC, they're making slow but strong moves all the way up to 008. I really hope they don't have like 3 more provisions between 5 and 8. Because I wasn't expecting 5. And I wasn't expecting 4. So they're really taking their time. Cassie is the first thing that someone has requested. And then we'll go slowly through all of the requests. We'll do them nice and like tempered today, because usually we're like very like hype, go, right? It's important to be measured actually. So this is the new persona for the channel, is to be extremely rational, very objective, and take it not with a grain of salt, but with a statue made of salt, right? A pillar of salt. But now, first thing about Cassie, first thing before I do any technical analysis, if I have the time, is to go through the news. So I'm going to go here and see if it's bullish or bearish. I'm going to see 4 penny stocks to look at before blue chips. Cassie Pharmaceuticals and CEO bought 6.2 million shares. What else? Let's see. So CLF, CHWY, Ocugen, LCTX in pre-market gainers. None of those are Cassie. So what I will say about this is that when you're looking at the news, just watch out for any major barriers to the stock like hitting up against a wall sometime soon. You don't want that to happen. Oh, Jason Ocampo, thank you for the super. Shout out to Jesus and Andrew for streaming. Heck yeah. Easter. Everyone have Easter plans? Let me know. What are you guys planning for Easter? Okay, so the first thing about Cassie is that on the 30-minute chart, we are noticing a descending level of resistance and support. So it's starting to move downwards either bearishly or correctively. This is that question of the market. Does my stock go down because people think it's worth less, right? A correction. Or do you think that people are just afraid of the stock, right? Because of a myriad of reasons. And that could ultimately be one of the biggest fears, is that, oh, this stock is just bearishly going down, it's declining. And so now we actually understand what we're looking for, right? The momentum of the stock itself. So on the 30-minute chart, it doesn't have a clear picture, so I go to the daily. And on the daily, this is where I can see a little bit clearer. So in 2018, I see this almost a double top with almost a triple top here with a bimodal price distribution. And then I see that we had a major upset, of course, in the middle of the pandemic, and a small resurgence that happened within a couple of days of each other, all the way back in May, that slowly bled out. So this bleed has now started one of the most beautiful little impulse waves here, starting in October, right? Each of these subwaves is about 40 cents. So 40 cents, and this one tracks up to $1. This one tracks up $1 too. So each of these small impulse waves are becoming $1 all the way up to $4, right? And then we have a corrected wave down here. Speaking purely from a reward assessment, right now it is recontesting its EMA, so it has the potential to drop back down to $1.80, right? That is a 30% risk of your portfolio dropping from $2.40 all the way down to $1.80. However, as you look up at the possible reward, the last time we were up at $3.50 and even almost $4 is a strong resistance, by the way, is back in February. And so in February, there was a chance for us to be able to break through the EMA. I would say if the MACD on the 30-minute chart deviates sharply away from the signal line, you would have the ability to catch the train as it goes up. However, I would say a much more rational entry point is at $2.66 over here, where we was hard supported before. You don't know where this stock is going to go, either back down to this support or push through the EMA and start a steady climb. Either way, I would say that you would want to wait until a more natural impulse begins to form. So that is a stock ticker symbol of your choice. So once again, I'm looking for your choices, and we are going to cover the news of the day as well right here. DTCC-005. I'm going to cover that in just 2 more tickers. We have Matt Weiler. You the man. Ape never sleep, baby. Weiler. I don't know what that's from, but that's very funny. I love saying Weiler. Jason says, UAVS, if you could, just imagine Meatball receiving endless treat delivery via drone. The drone age. Yes, the drone age. So, Alexis HODLstein AMA today. So the drone age UAVS, let's go check that out real quick. AG Eagle Aerial, that's a cool name. Always check out the news, right? The first thing, Seeking Alpha usually sometimes has a biased opinion. However, hold on, let me change this. So, hello, Apes is the last samurai. You might be wondering why there is no volume today, because the markets are closed, and you might be wondering where people are. They're probably at their day jobs, because today the markets are closed. But we do still have DD. So we have the whale suppressing our volatility to bleed, Max Payne explained. We explained Max Payne a couple of times already. We can watch it to see if this changes our perspective. And then remember, her second AMA, April 2nd AMA, 11 a.m. Eastern. So that's going to be in an hour. And we're going to see exactly what she has to say and what kind of information do certain people not want to get out. Okay, so DTCC-005 is on deck. Let's look at the drone age here. Oh, just give me those junior mints, says Chad Tinney. Where is the professor? He's sleeping over on this chair. Can't say no to a couple of treats in the morning. Hello, Andrew, says Last Samurai. What's going on? Just having a chill sesh together with the boys. So, AG Eagle update from news file. Nothing incredibly danging. You're looking for some very strong negative news catalysts or any positive news catalysts. Unfortunately, one of the first things that I see here is AG Eagle, actually unfortunately, among industry gainers. So that's good. UAVS, let's look at the daily chart first. So we're coming off of a breakout point back in December of about $3 and breaking all the way out to $18. So that is 600% up. No, that's more. Well, it's a big rise that led to a strong correction, but these waves are essentially the mythical macro Elliott waves that people don't want to talk about. So beautiful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 subwave impulse here, and then leading to an ABC 3-part corrective wave here. This wave is a failed Meatball, no biting. This wave is a failed impulse wave here that was rejected at $10. And so now right here, it has the potential to gain 30% to return and recontest this $10 mark, or at the very least, it has been supported twice already at $5.50. So one of the first things that you'll notice here is that this is already debatedly an ascending level of support, but both times they are supported by the EMA. So this 200-day exponential moving average has a sense of a corrective push in the right direction. So one of the pieces here is that this is a macro view of its bearish or bullish momentum, and right now it is bullishly supporting it from the bottom. So I would say there is a 50-50 chance, right, that you're gonna have to recontest this EMA. If you don't want to enter quite yet, this is a fine time to just wait to see if it falls back down to 550. If it does push through 10, that's another strong entry point, because that means that this is a place that was contested multiple times, rejected multiple times. If it can push past 10 with a strong divergence, you're going to be set by trying to snatch it up there. Markets are closed. Nicolas Campanadze. Let's see. Okay. How long is this? Hold on. 2 did not read. So I'm going to, since the markets aren't open, I'm going to read these articles with a larger screen. So one sec. Okay, one sec. Okay, yeah. So almost 1,000 of you in here. That would be pretty sweet. I'll do a juggling trick at 1,000 concurrent viewers, and at 500, Meatball gets a big treat. That's just some fun for today. Aw, Thaddeus Goldstill, I appreciate that. I don't know why I allowed Reddit Planet to show that chat. I guess my brain was going on autopilot. So UAVS, right? We just covered it right above my top left corner. I'm going to change my face so that we can do this and this. Mother of all short squeezes won't happen until options are not regulated. Just change the game. Okay, like the sound of that. Moon Platoon. We need some major changes in regulation in order to be able to have the mother of all short squeezes truly happen. And successfully, there has been a brand new DTC regulation. We had 003, we had 004. We've been waiting on 008, the Exodia headpiece that will destroy, decimate the hedge funds currently holding out and waiting to get thrown a bone by whoever they've bought out. But today, we have a brand new DTC-005 that's changing the game. The mother of all short squeezes won't happen until options are not regulated. DTC 2021-005 just changed the game. Show the user that wrote this DD, user Lighthouse 30130 a love, like upvote this in the description, and we will watch until the end so that we can fully understand where this is going. Right, this might take a little bit of explanation, so stick through it and we will be able to explain exactly in the simplest language what is going to happen with 005. All right, let me summarize this risk alert to you. How do hedge funds manage to make it look like they're covered easily with two types of deceptive options trading? One, a buy right trade, i.e. selling deep in the money call, buying a synthetic long share from market makers. So this is an explanation that we had already covered, and this is something that we had here. A quick visual explanation. Citadel and Melvin had gotten on the same boat together after Melvin mistakenly thought that GameStop and AMC were bad plays. And so we have the imaginary cloud from which the naked shorts are born. You guys can't see that because this is blocking the way. One sec. So the imaginary cloud in which naked shorts are born, they are taken out of the ether in an async way to be able to explain, hey, I need to sell this share right now, but I don't own the share. I'm going to have to borrow it from someone, but I have no one to borrow it from, so I'm going to borrow it from nobody. Right? So this is ultimately going to FTD, fail to deliver, if they cannot find someone to actually buy it from. Thank you, Chad Tinney. I appreciate that. This FTD is then going to cause Melvin some serious trouble because this motion is trying to hurt the price stock, right? So this is downward pressure on the price. But when they fail to deliver, how are they going to be able to, get out of this mess? Well, what Citadel can do is, with their powers as a market maker, create a synthetic long and then give them the ability to pass it off to the next buck, essentially. So the synthetic long is kind of like a sell order that doesn't exist yet. However, it's a buy order that doesn't exist yet. So from over here, in a different cloud, this is where the market maker can create a. Remember, these clouds are just for invisible, right? So for now, let's call this Melvin hedge fund. And this is the market maker creating a buy. But they haven't really bought it because it's not bought from anybody. So these are synthetic longs that they pass over to cancel out these FTDs. And then in order for this obligation to be fulfilled, the hedge funds do have to pass it back to the market makers. How do they do that? With deep in the money calls. Deep in the money calls. And this is something that we've seen multiple times, right? Let's look at the options chain from just yesterday. Just yesterday, we see that there is almost $120 million worth of calls here between strike prices $3 and $20. That's for GME as an example. But can you imagine $120 million worth of bets that GME, that they would like to buy GME for somewhere between $3 and $20. A rational person would just buy at the money calls, or near out of the money calls, or perhaps near in the money calls, right? But deep in the money calls is used to earmark these transactions specifically so that Melvin can pass these longs back to Citadel, and Citadel will trash them on behalf of their good friends, right? So this is the current hypothesis of where these deep in the money calls are coming from. However, everything needs to be taken with a pillar of salt is the brand new motto for the show. So be incredibly careful and make sure to do your own due diligence. All right, back to this. Number 2, buying a married put, right? Buying an option put with a synthetic share. We've also explained this visually, but just super briefly, this was going to be even faster than the next one. Let's just use this tiny piece of the whiteboard here. Let's say that I buy a $200 strike price put, which means I want to buy at $200. In fact, some people might agree with me. So we go over to the options chain and look, $200. There's $1 million worth of calls right there. So I buy one contract, that's 100 shares, and then someone who sold me this contract, a short hedge fund, goes ahead and buys $200 worth of puts. $200 strike price puts. These two cancel out, and they have super fast exercising. So when the price goes below 200, this becomes in the money. They exercise it immediately. And if they do this over and over with a bunch of dummies like me, this pushes the price down, and they didn't even have to short it. So this has the same exact effect as shorting the price. That is a married put conversion. And they make a little money on the side with arbitrage. If you guys want fuller explanations of those, hopefully you can find them on my channel. But let's continue on to fully understand what is happening with these two types of deceptive options trading here. What difference between selling calls and buying puts? Well, not much. It's a question of obligation versus a possibility. In our scenario, it does not matter much. Why buy a synthetic long at the same time as the option? They use the synthetic share to appear as if they close their short position. POUF FINRA number goes down. Bloomberg writes an article. GameStop short interest plunges in sign traders are covering, saying that the hedge funds have covered. End of the story. This is why it's difficult to accept the indicator that short interest is the end all and be all of the squeeze indicators. So this is why we have created these videos that say how to lie to FINRA, because at the end of the day, if you can go out and essentially just change the entire process, and the indicator of, let's say, carbon monoxide is usually how you detect if there's a fire going on in your house. Those carbon monoxide detectors, which is the short interest detectors nowadays, they are not detecting the actual manipulation of the types of fires that have been invented by these hedge funds in the recent past. But now you are educated, so you have a better understanding of what can happen. How can they buy a synthetic long? If a market maker buys options from an options writer, the options maker has legal privileges to do a version of naked shorting as part of their hedging function. This is necessary under the current rules and current system for market makers to protect themselves when facilitating options trades. Do buying synthetic longs have an impact on the price of the stock? Since they're not part of the float, they are not purchased on the market. Float is just the number of stocks that you can buy as part of a non-insider, non-institution. Is it good news or bad news? We're not sure yet, but there's a theory saying that the FTD cycles are getting bigger and will only get worse for them. They don't like that wait and pray tactic while they're dealing with a hedge fund. To this writer, it's rather a bad news to only rely on HODL and pray for the mother of all short squeezes to start without the regulations in place to force short to close their positions. Their deceptive options duckery means that they can reset their FTDs indefinitely, which we just talked about. The close-out requirement, which will trigger the mother of all short squeezes, will never be enforced, and we are ducked. They are not bleeding as we thought they were. The SEC papers mentioned that with this tactic, they do not have to pay the borrowing fees for shorting, just a prearranged premium with the market maker, which can be seen as a cost to leverage the market maker hedging prerogatives of naked shorting. So basically, too long didn't read, it's hard to take a passive stance And that's why right now getting a little bit of help from our friends, right, some DTCC help is 100% necessary for the squeeze. Who is short then, the hedge fund or the market maker? As long as the double trade is done, the hedge funds are no longer short from a reporting standpoint, but the market maker are. They normally don't want to stay short too long, so most of the time they exercise these options the same day, which now makes the hedge fund short on this turn, but with a reset for FTDs. And we talked about that cyclicality just in that diagram. Remember when Melvin Capital revealed 6 million puts in the SEC filing from February, but no long position with their puts, so naked puts. They're willing to bet $1 trillion these puts are leftovers of married puts used as deceptive options to trade to look like he covered during the January squeeze. The amount of such options that need to be traded is too big not to be noticed. They all knew, the SECC, DTCC, and concurrent hedge funds, and now even us. This is why they're convinced that our best chance is a regulation of options trading. With that, is too much to ask? Well, the DTCC just made their best joke to Citadel with 2021-005, submitted after market close on Thursday. Well, have a nice Easter weekend, Ken. Kenneth Griffin, CEO of Citadel. How is it a game changer? Finally, we've gone to the actual regulation. Well, it's almost too real to be true, but on Thursday after markets closed, DTCC submitted a rule filing to be reviewed by the SEC. So here is a high-level summary of the 3 main points. You can even just download it and then have your brain explode with just, well, actually, it's not even that many pages, but it's just a lot of legalese. Luckily, thanks to this user, once again, show this post some love. We have the 3-part explanation here. Securities can't be borrowed more than once. Some securities won't be able to be used as collateral, and deceptive short naked option selling or buying won't be possible. Hedge funds will need to have the shares when buying puts or selling calls. Now, this is beautiful. This knocks out, number 3 knocks out the married put and conversions concept that they have been pushing to short the stock, even while it's on the short sale restriction list, and not being able to be borrowed more than once. Ooh, that might just break out of the cyclical FTD chain here. Pledges to the Options Clearing Corporation. A participant writing an option on options exchange may fully collateralize that option by pledging the underlying securities by book entry through DTC to the Options Clearing Corporation. If the option is called, the securities may be released and delivered to the holder of the call. If the option contract is not exercised, OCC validates a release of the pledged securities. Release of deposits with Options Clearing Corporation on expired options. OCC automatically releases securities deposited with it to cover margin requirements on an option contract when the option contract expires. Can't read any of that. Notification of the released securities is received via the collateral loan services, No more synthetic longs, FTDs, and other duckery. This will force the reg show closeout requirements, which will trigger the mother of all short squeezes to Uranus. 2Ape did not read. If short sellers are facing a squeeze because shares are hard to buy or scrutiny for holding an illegal short position, they can create the appearance of having closed their short position through the use of deceptive options trades, and we just explained those. If it does not make them cover, just reset the clock so the FTD doesn't skyrocket. DTCC is unhappy about this and wants to ensure that options can no longer be used like this. When it gets enforced, it will force a closeout requirement, launching our rocket to the sun. As a dungeon master, a person who avidly loves D&D, this is like someone bringing a broken homebrew to your game and saying, hey, this isn't illegal, right? I'm not shorting the stock, I'm on the short sale restriction list, blah, blah, blah. And this is the DM coming in and saying, no, no more. This is the brand new rules to your homebrew. Too bad, ladies and gentlemen. This exactly might just be the pin we needed for the 4th piece of Exodia, right? We had the 003, the 004. Now, with 005 and 008 coming out soon, this is likely going to start bringing us to the finish line. But what do you guys think, right? I've explained this once more visually, and how exactly does this block out? Let's actually do this one more time with what they have now blocked. So as a reminder, they are now no longer allowed to be borrowed more than once. So with these FTDs, being able to have the cyclicality of moving through these synthetic buys, It's like synth longs. Now that they're trying to reset these FTDs using this method, since it cannot be borrowed more than once, this is now a no-go. So this suddenly gets broken out of the chain as soon as it goes through once. Some securities won't be able to be used as collateral. So now they have to have the shares when buying puts and selling calls. So normally when the market maker, when the short hedge fund has a $200 call and then sells you this call, buys a put, they only have to have it once or not at all. Now they do have to have the 100 shares in advance. And I'm going to go through the document myself, but they might have to have the 100 shares for both call and the put. So this requires them to have more long positions, right? We noticed that they had 6 million puts, but no long positions. So these are naked puts. The DTCC might be putting a stop to this. So I'm going to dive through this document so that you guys don't have to. I'll add an update to this video in a future live stream. Come join us. We go bell to bell, and we are breaking down the stock tickers that you want to suggest. So it's an open conversation. As someone said, this is kind of like an online lecture where students actually ask questions. Join the Moon Platoon by pressing the join button next to the subscribe button. All of these people have right here, and the people who are the officer tier, the Meatball, the Space Legend tiers, and the generals, the Gorillionaire tiers. I salute you. Thank you for supporting the show, and as always, for now, but not for forever, we'll see you in the money. Okay, so hopefully that explained some stuff. So the main point of this channel pivot is, one, we're going to become a little bit more level-headed, right? We're not going to be like, what's going on, guys? How's it going? Like, everything's going to be okay. No, stocks is actually pretty freaking serious. So now that you guys know that stocks are so freaking serious, it's time to grow up a little bit and become a little bit more level-headed. And finally, we are going to explain more of the DD that we are reading piece by piece. That means that we're going to have less content, but it's going to be more well explained. And that's going to be the pivot that we're working on this show. Let's see. Go through a little bit of what you guys are saying. Okay, so Chad Tinney, thank you so much for the super earlier. We could look for stocks that have more potential. So Chad, if you have a ticker symbol you want to look at today, 100% objectively looking at whatever it is that you guys think has potential. Happy to do so. KM says, morning, Andrew, just got on. Hey, how's it going? Let's see. Javier Lopez says, what do the one-on-ones consist of? It's whatever you want to talk about. Stocks, data science. It is a random chance that you'll get it each week. It's picked out of the entire group of Moon Platoon and above tiers. And this is King James 007 makes a great point. There's no question that DTCC is trying its best not to be the bag holder at the end of all of this. I think that they're trying to help the squeeze either intentionally or unintentionally. That's a great point. And now that we've gone past 1,000, let's see, do I have anything to juggle here? I don't even have a ton to juggle. I'll juggle this. And I don't have a third thing, so I guess I'll juggle Poo. All right, so like I said, at 1,000, I'm going to do a quick juggle. This channel used to be a lot more about juggling. All right, they're all rounds. They all ran away from me. There we go. So that was some news, and now some tickers. So HOVFV I know you guys have been waiting for a while. Hall of Fame. So let's look at it on the daily chart. So let's look at some news as well. Non-fungible token market grew by 300% in 2020. I bet. You guys have an NFT? Did you know that Meatball became an NFT? That was a good time. Extends agreement with PepsiCo beverages. Okay, so this could have been the reason why we've been seeing some growth. Ooh, 100% buy. Okay, WeBull. Where's Meatball? Meatball, where are you? He's chilling on the couch. Good boy. Eugene, has anyone noticed me out and about yet? Let's see. Oh, Cody Becker. I hope everything's okay with the IRS. Thaddeus Goldstone, I got you. Your AABB is on deck. Let's see. Cute. Cute Meatball. Oh. He had some sleepies in his eyes. So, the first thing is HOFV. We're looking at a descending track all the way from August. So, descending channel for both the supports and the resistances. However, this I'm assuming this is the NFT craze pumping up here at the end of March. So we see a breakout from about slightly less than $3, one big green candle to $4, two big green candles to $6, and three. This is a candle that it's just red, but you know it has to get up to that price first. All price action has to be linear, so it gets all the way up from 6 to 780. So these impulses are almost exactly the same length. So this subwave is from $2 to $4, then $4 to $6, $6 to $8. So they're roughly about $1.50 each. And this is the channel that I drew a while ago. It already has fallen out of that channel. Great. So in that sense, if it has already been losing momentum, there is likely going to be what I was fearful of, which is the HFT market popping, or at the very least deflating. So HFTs, so not HFTs, NFTs, non-fungible tokens are likely going to be in a bubble. Even the artists agree until they become sustainable. So one of the more important pieces to pay attention to is whether or not this is actually going to reconsolidate up to my channel length. So how much longer can I pull this? I'm going to say that I have hopes for it going up to here on Monday, right? So from 5 to 650 because of the way that these supports have been tracking. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's a long impulse wave, but it's not impossible for it to try and make up the gap that it traded sideways with. If it does not make it by Monday, this is going to be the bubble deflating and trading consolidating sideways, and then we're gonna have to build a brand new channel. For now, I would say that this should not affect your decision because none of these are financial decisions that you should track with. But as of right now, I am personally very concerned that with NFTs, you're likely going to see a sideways consolidation. And my roommate had already bought a Hall of Fame NFT as well. Okay, so 40 more minutes until the AMA starts. Hold on, let me just find it. Oh, someone's worked with the CTO for a year. Okay. Some of these stories are very interesting. Oh, someone's already contacted the SEC with deep in the money calls. 005. It does feel like an April Fool's joke because why did they file this today? That's weird. Everything short by 8-bit. Oh, now that's cool. That's very cool. The new movie poster concept. Okay, I'm going to ask if because we just had an interview with 8-bit, so I'm gonna ask if we can use this. Hi, love your artwork. We just had an interview with 8-bit on my YouTube channel. Could we splice the what is this movie poster you created into the thumbnail? Then I'm gonna have to find that video. Everything's a little slower today. It's better for my blood pressure, I guess. Sweet. So that's that. Okay. AMA. When is that gonna happen? Maybe Renzel will be able to tell us. Renzel? Post. Oh, I missed a super. Excusez-moi. I really missed it. When did I miss the super? Roger Snow, have a video that I would like to look at, maybe review with us. It wouldn't let me post in your super chat, but I do have it in your comments. Okay, Roger, you likely have the link in my comments, but I can't see any links on my side. So what you could do is send it to me on email. So go ahead and send it to andrewmobusiness@gmail.com. Unfortunately, if it has copyrighted audio, I won't be able to play it. But I'm looking forward to it. andrewmobusiness@gmail.com for Roger Snow. Business@gmail.com. Roger Snow. LVR says, can you check out Tigger Ching puts for May 21st and explain? CHNG. Oh, change. You can look at the options chain for chain. Please do not use racial slurs in the chat. Oh, here it is. Thank you, Renzel. Official AMA. Hi, Alexis HODLstein. A little bit about me. I currently work advocating for a safer, fairer economy. She started her career on Wall Street, working as a programmer at Morgan Stanley in electronic trading, and a business analyst at Merrill Lynch and Deutsche Bank in equity derivatives. Recently, they testified before the House Financial Services Committee. So we're going to be covering that AMA in just a sec. Okay. Options chain, please. Hello. 22 bucks. What did you say the puts are? So they're puts only. How many puts? At what price? So $17 strike puts. $25 strike puts is already in the, this is already in the money. So any, puts are the opposite of calls, right? So any amount higher is already in the money. So 22 is near the money. And there's a bunch of $22 strikes here. And then I think the only strike that is actually in the money is this $25 strike here. Yeah, not a ton of movement on this stock, but nevertheless. So a good amount of people are buying puts at $22 here. First thing that I want to note is that this stock on the 30-minute chart has a solid footing going all the way up to 23 bucks. Oh, an AABB. I didn't forget. Thaddeus Ghostal, AABB. I got you. So this stock was trending pretty much sideways for a long time at $24. Barely any volatility at all, then fell off. And now we're just wondering where the floor is. Well, the floor could be at 18 bucks, where it was trading sideways before it jumped up to 24 bucks. So 18 is the floor. So your risk to reward is dropping $4 or rising back up to 24. So losing $4 or gaining $1.50. Doesn't seem like fantastic rewards. However, if you're expecting that this is the end of this corrective wave, could be. Although the way that this corrective wave kind of petered out, like far negative at the end, makes me a little concerned. Yeah, I would say that this is a bearish run that should leave you a little bit confused because it doesn't have nice tight waves on the 30-minute chart. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, so right now, this gap up, I'm not even going to explore, but it's a trend downward from a gap up. And I think the most important piece is why, if you understand exactly why this gap up happened, this would be able to give you a better understanding of, is this a valid correction? Because at this point in this slope, it is, in all intents and purposes, pointing towards returning to the EMA, which is still down all the way at the $18 mark, right? The long-term momentum of the stock is still at the $18, so this could be a runaway stock that is just slowly correcting. I don't see any bullish momentum quite yet. However, I haven't read any articles. So AABB, let's cover that real quick, and then we'll go. Yeah, still 30 minutes until the Alexis HODLstein. Let's see. Oh, my neck. Roger Snow sent you email. Thank you. Treat for Meatball? Yes. Treat for Meatball. Here you go. Here you go, bud. Okay, so Roger Snow, cool video. Great AMC video. Let's see. I'm afraid this is going to be... Well, first of all, this is really long. So is there a clip in here? And I'm also afraid that they're going to play some copyrighted music. So tell me if there's a piece of it you would like me to play that definitely doesn't have any music. Let's see. Andrew with a noisy keyboard. Oh, cool. Oh, this is very cool. Some of you are sending me some really cool data. So at one point today, I do need to actually look at some of your emails. So this actually could be a fun little adventure for us, because some of you have interesting DB and some of you are interesting DD and some of you have real estate agent licenses that I requested. If anybody's a real estate agent, I'm still requesting. Come talk to me. This is really good stuff. Thank you guys so much for the support. I'm like reading these nice emails. You know, it's nice. Okay, so good price for Tilray to get in. All right, so I need to do AABB first, and for our boy Thaddeus Ghostal. Thaddeus says, I'm pretty excited to show your wife, my wife, your take. To show his wife my take on this. She's been very hyped to have found this stock. Okay, so hyped to have bought it when is the question. I'm going to take very seriously this stock. First things first, I'm going to go look at the options chain too, just in case there's something to look at here. Oh, okay. Okie dokie. In that case, I'm going to go back to just the news here. So Asia Broadband increases stock dividend for shareholders. Asian Broadband to acquire new mineral property. Asian Broadband Asia Metals. Final assay results of 4 million. This is, yeah, sorry, this is a little bit dry, but that's okay. We're here for the dry. We're here for the dry. Press release, Asia Broadband approves stock dividend for shareholders. So they paid a dividend, or at least they approved a dividend back in the end of February. So in that sense, I don't see a ton of news catalysts in the near past. However, let's just take a look at that very sweet channel that we're building here. So this is something that we could view as a cup and handle, right? We could view it as a cup and handle because, and I think this is why you sent it to me, because we see that this is a double contesting of a single high, of a single resistance, right? And the second resistance is slightly lower than the first. And now the handle has one sharp candle downward and is now trading down here. But the difficult interpretive part of this is whether or not this handle is actually scraping at the bottom of this cup, because the handle should stay above in the second, in the top half of this cup. It should stay above $3.50 in a conservatively, right? The fact that it isn't doesn't mean much in terms of, let's look at GME, for example. So when GME's handle started to dip really close to the second half of that cup, people got really worried. And now, after that blip, it basically has now rose past up back to the first half of that cup. So if this does reverse back to, you see how much lower it's trading than its simple moving average? Its 15-day simple moving average shows that it is due for a correction. So as of right now, I think this is a fancy, nice little entry point here if you can look out for this pattern. So here, check out this pattern. Does it look similar? So we have these two right here, right? This is the dreaded double top pattern. So that's why cup and handles oftentimes are mistaken for double tops, and vice versa, right? You can easily look at a double top and be like, oh shoot, that's a double top, but then it turns out to be a cup and handle. So the main pieces of this handle is what's going to be the main deciding factor. Does this handle have declining volume? Does this handle have does it stay above the upper half? And how long has this handle been forming? So it's been forming since second half of March. So just for the last week or so, I would be really careful about interpreting these two signals here, because you can see how this could be a double top here, right? We talked about double tops yesterday. I'm going to clip that up and send it out later so that you have a little bit more knowledge about this. But if you were hoping this to be a cup and handle, I hope so too. However, it does need to match up to the lowering volume, number one, and number two, it needs to stay ideally above the second half of this cup. Drake Boot says, okay, the market is closed for Good Friday, but is it only closed for retail? The market as you know it, right? The market where is the light pool market, the non-dark pool market, the non-OTC market is closed for everyone. Point your chat to a crypto that'll make us hundreds of dollars daily. I mean, have you heard of Bitcoin? There's no easy way to make money, but with Bitcoin hovering around 60K, I mean, you really could have gotten in a couple days ago. I could have gotten in a couple days ago. I feel stupid. Look at that 10 grand. Oh, you guys can't see it. Look at that 10 grand difference from literally a week ago. So exactly a week ago, if you bought into crypto, you would be up $10,000 if you had 60. I'm not sure if that applies to half of you, all of you. However, if you did want at least $250 of free Bitcoin, go check it out in the BlockFi link. In fact, yeah, I'm just gonna change it. $250 of free Bitcoin. I think I missed a super here. Oh, okay, watch it on your own time and review it. Roger Snow, I got you. Matt Weiler, if you had 10K invested in AMC at 950, would you hedge your bets and take half out and invest any in GME? I never would switch a meme horse. In fact, I did have, what was my entry point? It was lower than 950. I have something like around like 8-ish, I think is my entry point for AMC. Listen, people got confused about my position in AMC, okay? Yesterday with 80bit, he's not as vested in AMC, and he's clearly someone who just doesn't have the same type of research. Same as Pixel, right? So these people, they're not bearish on AMC, they just haven't done the same amount of research. When I was asking for whether they've had any opinions on AMC, it's because one, I wanted to make sure that they had a chance to address it, and two, it's because of the live chat and even my mods pointing me in that direction. So we wanted to cover both of these stocks, and I'm not trying to alienate either side, right? Apes do not fight apes. But now that you understand, next time 80bit comes on the show, just understand that he is likely not going to want to talk about AMC because he just hasn't done enough research on it, not because he's bearish on it. Important to clear that up. Tim says, thank you for offering your knowledge, Andrew. You're helping me be a better trader every day. Can I have your walkthrough of TMBR? Sure thing. This is such a nice super. I might just make a whole video on TMBR now. Nice supers. Make me happy. Okay, TMBR. And then it's basically time for the AMA. And this time I think I know how to navigate the AMA. Last few times I've been very dumb. Let's see. Man, that time that 8-bit just showed up, that was crazy. Okay, wait, hold on. Just getting ready to start this video. Wow. This is a pretty good hate message. I actually, this is a fantastic email. I'm gonna have to start filing away these hate messages. If you guys weren't aware, there was a racist bot that was creating accounts yesterday. And I was mostly impressed, but at the end of the day, right, that was incredibly, like, illegal, I want to say. Hate crimes, yeah. So I guess I'll just create a new document for hate crimes here. Isaias, we will be monitoring the AMA for Alexis HODLstein. Oh yes, the railway in Taiwan. That is tragic. Please fix your mic, it sounds like inside an aquarium. Hold on, let me check my sound. That is tragic. No, it sounds okay. Oh, Louis C.K. is in the chat. The thing with these hate messages is that sometimes they're really, like, sometimes it's really hard to, like, show them online. I just don't, I think I need to actually, like, create a compilation of it. I'm not sure, because it doesn't bother me, but it's important to be able to point this stuff out as incredibly, like, as something that is actually happening. Hold on. The weird thing is that, like, I think I have received emails from these guys. Yes, okay. So let's actually do this real quick. You guys get the word out. Who is Alexis? Alexis HODLstein is a senior policy analyst. Okay, I do want to be able to put a little stream sticker here. Okay, so this is my email. On March 22nd, Mindset Media sent me a message, and it said, "Hello, Andrew. I own a company in the UK. I'm a shareholder of GME. Can you explain to me what happened today? 372 spike returned to normal. I mean, what the fuck? I own 2.5 million shares of GME. He owns how much money? 2.5 million shares of GME and can't explain what happened. Thank you." Well, let's just, okay, so that's what is this? How much money is that? 2.5 million. Okay, times whatever much GME is worth right now. So that is, hold on, 1,000, right? This is 1,000. This is 1 million. So this is $500 million. So he has almost $1 billion, right? And he would like to now send me a brand new email from 7:35 a.m. So this was from 12 minutes ago. It's called great information for today. And then it says, hey, China, swear word, you don't know, you just read stuff, go eat rice. This just happened 12 minutes ago. So as a reminder, don't be like this. And as a reminder, this half-billionaire would like a YouTuber to give him free advice on how to manage his $500 million. Okay. So as a reminder, right, be good, just generally. You don't have to be an ape to be a good person, but apes do not fight apes. And once more, if you see a person like this, you know that perhaps they are hurting inside. Hurting from all of the $500 million that they want me to give them free advice on. Okay, let's get this off screen. Rice is good. People are saying rice is good in the chat. Ugh. I would think that that's a bot, but no. It's a person with a question from 12 days ago. Hashtag stop the hate. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's like, you don't have to hate anyone, is the point. You shouldn't want to have to hate people based on race. Like, we don't play the race card very often, but if you could think about the other demographics of YouTubers on the space, like, we could definitely have more representation. Let's just say that, right? We definitely could have more representation. The world is very different, even though every single major YouTuber in this space is an American, right? We could easily have non-American people doing this stuff. But even for Americans, we can easily have more diversity. All right, Tim. Let's get Timber done. The thing about that is he thought that he would be able to get my attention with great info as a title. Like, I'm just dying for great info. Let me see. I like how everyone's just gathering around rice here. Wakasun is asking about article hit 1K. That was just some random mainstream FUD. I clipped it. I analyzed it. Going to publish that later today. Katie says, that's nice you have a trail of evidence. It is nice that I have a trail of evidence. Honestly, these videos are the most important pieces of evidence here. Aw, good morning. Good entry price for Tilray, please, thanks. You got it, Farima. Okay, so we'll do AAB, Tilray. Dirk Schultz says, must be really nice for him to give me pet names and want me to eat well. It's true. He's a giver. Let's see. Mr. Ryder, what's going on? We're just talking about more hate crimes. It's all good. Brand new hate crimes. Okay, so, Tim. Let's get Timber. Timber Pharmaceuticals. Look at the news. Timber Pharmaceuticals reports FY results. So first thing you'll notice is that since May, you would have been very sad to own Timber as it has just been bleeding for a whole year. And you might have been tempted to sell here because you wanted to recoup some losses. But then if you continue to hold, you'll notice that this is actually a double contesting of one single resistance over the course of months. So back in December, it contested again, it rejected again. So that's something that, first of all, oh, whoops, already really sad to see. But this stock just does not have either the volume or the interest. However, this does become a future level of support. Here we go. So when this stock had a green candle all the way up to 360, it's probably when you were like, oh, it's on my radar, or perhaps this is where you got really excited. This is not going, so if it does go back and recontests 360, that is a strong get out sign, right? Because that's basically exactly the double top right here. If it tries to top out at 360 again, it's because there are investors that didn't get to sell the first time around and they want to sell this time around. If it so be really careful if it does try to go back to 360. If it does push through though, then that's natural growth. One of the things that I will say is that this growth in that short amount of time doesn't feel incredibly natural. However, you can kind of see a pattern growing without the spikes. So just in terms of the tops here, let me draw a trend line. There, boom. So these tops, if you ignore the spikes here, are giving a sense of the more natural growth that Timber is actually following, right? This is the middle of an impulse. You know this because it was supported at a higher support level here. Both of these were at around $1.40, and this one is at $1.60. It's a 12-cent, 15-cent difference, but it does make a huge difference. So one of the first things that I'll say is that if you're hoping for this to be a long-term play, likely a news catalyst is bringing it into the limelight. However, this could easily be a false pump. In that sense, it is looking to be corrected. Beyond this $1.60, if it does start to fall underneath, I would say that that is a strong indication that this was a correction instead. More than anything, do track the news and be careful because this type of growth, if you ignore the outliers, could be natural, but it could also be corrective soon. So Tim, that is your TMBR update. Oh, Matthew Arden says, hello, I'm from England. I think you're amazing, Andrew. Keep it up. Oh, I appreciate that. Let's see. Greetings from Germany. Heck yeah. Rice pudding. Drake, I like how everybody is coming around rice. Like I like how rice is the joining factor here. Good. Hashtag B1, B2. This is why I love your show. No politics, no prejudice, all economics. I am of Afro descent. Fellow ape. How's it going, B1, B2? B182. I cannot read. It's too far away from my face. Okay, so I like how everyone's just talking about rice now. Good morning, Vegas Andrew. Let's see. I like how Sean Carter tried to get chopsticks in the chat. I don't think so. But I appreciate that attempt. Okay, so yeah, we asked about Tilray, so let's do Tilray real quick. Thank you, Tim, for your services. Oh man, Tilray has been a mess for a while. So I put these 3 levels of resistance here a long time ago. This must have been before the squeeze. No, I think I put these after the squeeze. Jeez. So Tilray has just been trending underneath my lowest level of support. Great. So now I think there's a new bottom. This has been tested once before at 18, about 18 bucks. Yeah, no, this is no bueno. So Tilray has always just been a bit of a slumper. So I will say, if you're looking for a absolute bottom, Tilray has not been lower than 1830 even before the run up. So if you wanted to buy it and you don't mind a potential, what is this? 20% dip, you could buy in right now. Because the lowest it could go, it was strongly supported with a flash crash down to 18 bucks. So if you're not afraid of losing 20%, then 22 is fine. However, I would say that a strong indication of when Tilray is going to be able to resurge back up and recontest the $27 range is whether or not it can actually have a strong running start, and whether or not it actually finishes its whether or not more news of its merger comes out. Because as of right now, it got into the hype. It got into like the Biden administration thinking like they were going to be opening up the cannabis stores, and then none of that really happened, and it got really, really messy. So as of right now, I would say Tilray has a hard floor at 18. If you're not afraid of that risk, it might be a good time to get in, because it hasn't been under 18 for a long time. It would need a strong negative. It would need a really strong negative catalyst for that to happen. Okay, Alexis HODLstein AMA coverage is happening now. .005, yes, J-Trees. That's the very beginning of this live stream. I covered 005. Oh, you know what I was going to do? I was going to change the stream output. Can I still do that? Maybe not. No, I can't. Well, I'm trying to change the stream output so that it becomes higher quality. Ooh, I'm not even sure if I can. Okay, I'll try it next time. Powerball, thanks for joining the Moon Platoon. I appreciate that. Heck yeah. Okay, AMA time. Where is that AMA? So as a reminder, every post with Alexis HODLstein's name gets downvoted to oblivion, except this one, which has 14,000 upvotes. So someone must be scared of the information she's in possession in, so let's find out. Here it is. Okay, so as a reminder, she testified in front of the House Financial Services Committee. She also discussed GameStop. One sec. Let's go back to GameStop here. Sweet. Goes back to AMC. Awesome. There's also recent appearances of her on CNBC and BBC. Finally, they have broad implications of GameStop, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and if anybody knows Reddit better than me, let me know if this is the wrong way to do it, is I'm going to sort by Q&A, and then I'm going to see if she answers any questions. Do I have to keep... refreshing, or is this going to automatically refresh? I don't know anything about Reddit. John Scotto is like, I don't think I'll make it till Monday. Ooh, no. Seems like double top bottom chart. Which bottom chart? Why are these all so wide? That's what AMC looks like. That's what GameStop looks like. Mind 3D feel. I don't read Korean, unfortunately, so I don't know what that means. Andrew, what are your thoughts about BlackRock dabbling in deep BTC futures? Ooh, that's interesting. John Scotto, thank you for joining as a Mo Monkey. I appreciate that. Is the market close today? Yeah, it is. Okay, I guess I would just keep refreshing. There needs to be like an app that refreshes your browser. This can't be the easiest way to. Okay, so 2 minutes ago, she said, "Hi everyone, thanks for coming today." So now I'm covering it. I guess this is the beginning of the coverage. Wow, there's a lot of questions. I wonder if she's going to answer this one. I mean, she's already answered a couple of questions ago, like yesterday, so let's find this one. Hi, Alexis. This is going to be a bizarre question, but how did you pave your place in the career while being a female? Your job career is extremely inspiring, but I've always found people say it's difficult to break ground and really forge a career for yourself in that sector. Wish you all the best in your career, and thank you for giving me your time. I don't know who gave this award, but wow, thank you. I definitely don't deserve it, but I appreciate it. I wish I knew who it was so I could at least say thank you properly. Alexis HODLstein says, Farima, thank you for the super. There's certainly a lot of deep-seated structural attitudes that create hurdles for women in finance and outside of finance, even in the world. Just to give one example, some people will comment on women's appearances instead of on the substance of what they have to say. Hopefully we can all work together to change this. The best generic advice I can give is work hard, don't give up, and look for mentors who can share what they've learned. Boom. Let's see, so refresh again, I guess. Keep refreshing. Were we talking about like mixing drinks? Because that is pretty cool. This is the conversation right now in the chat. Okay, so I've already have sorted by Q&A, so I'm gonna try and understand exactly how to do this. Is the easiest way to just... Is she ever gonna answer this question? Don't fight the ball. Why? This is not intuitive at all. Why? Weiler. A lot of really good questions though, so at least we can look at the questions. Not sure if she actually has answered them yet. Oh wait, here's, okay, so, oh my goodness. Just go to her account and refresh to show her comments. Oh, that was so much easier. Somebody learned. That's better. Okay. Yes, technology. Sweet. Ah, she's partial to Python. Confirmed! Python! Python Master Race, heck yeah. Good day, Andrew from Sydney, Australia, 2 a.m. I just woke up. Sorry if you've covered this, but what do you think about Xpeng and the EV market? I talked about EV market a long time ago. I think that it is one of the best things for the environment. I think it's one of the best things for long-term growth, but I do not think, if you're talking specifically about CCIV and Lucid Motors, that they're going to make much of a swing until they actually sell a car. So that's what I think. Tesla, though, is just a constant guessing game. Let's see. Okay, so any catalyst soon? We just talked about 005, so that could be something. E-Gene, your dog as the DTCC. Okay, let's go to that real quick. And then we will look at Linux or Mac. Okay, so she's a cool person, I guess. She's Mac and Python. Here's E-Gene's dog as the DTCC, looking out, preparing, checking for shenanigans. Joshua Cannon, and not financial advice. I have two questions. I have an HRTX strike price of $15 expiration on April 16th, and a call on AMC strike 1150 expiration of 423. What do you think? Well, if it's not financial advice, I think that AMC. Okay, that's all the way out in 2 weeks. I think that that's possible. I don't see a ton of... So anything's possible when the 008 gets implemented in terms of regulations. In terms of HRTX, though, I'm not sure. So as of right now, you should know that AMC has been trading sideways for... Which, whether or not a long whale wants to actually do this to us, this could be an attempt to cause max pain, but it has been trading sideways since the 26th. So that's only been a week. It does feel like it's been forever. So in that sense, definitely possible. However, $15 strike on HRTX, you're already in the money. I would say you would probably want to sell instead of... So let's look at HRTX. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So this is what some people might think as a reversal, but if this double tops over on 17 and it doesn't have the momentum to continue on upward, right now it's already above the EMA. I would say sell might be a good option, but once again, those two contracts have expirations that are still out there, especially the 423 one. I would say you can just hold on tight. Has a lot of like actual explanation and a lot of actual choices, but the reason why is because I really don't want to give you financial advice, truly. Just giving you some things to think about. Luke Wilmer says, Andrew, do you know if using margin on WeBull puts me in danger of being unable to sell during the squeeze because those shares were bought on borrowed money if they wish to stop the event again? All shorts must cover, Luke. Even if you buy, you buying on margin doesn't have anything to do with... You buying on margin should not change the squeeze. Buying on margin is only dangerous for you if the price of the stock goes down too low and you get margin call. That's the difference. Yeah, some people are telling you to turn margin off. Remember, margin doesn't really help the squeeze, but it's up to you. Okay, so she says... This is a good question. Okay, let's look at what question there is. Why don't we have a unicorn award? That's the question. Okay, so we talked about finance, women in finance. Okay, here's a good question about SEC. Renzel asked this question. They think that the SEC should have stepped in, but I don't see that a lot. Even outside of GME, I see people asking why the SEC hasn't stepped in on multiple occasions throughout the years. Is this due to upper management? Current rulings, for example, are they unable or unwilling to act? Current rulings, for example, like blah, blah, blah. So what is the SEC supposed to do if they're supposed to do anything? Greetings, everybody, and welcome. Excuse me, I pressed the back button instead of the forward button. That's the problem with having very sweaty palms. Okay, so let's see. So she answers, I think the SEC should consider increasing the kinds of positions that are disclosed on the Form 13F. Yes, finally. So more data, honestly. This is just a pretty standard boilerplate, like there should be more data. In terms of your broader question about the SEC, the last 4 years were a very deregulatory environment. The last administration had a laissez-faire attitude, which led to a lot of things getting overlooked. I think it will take a moment for the regulators to readjust. In the meantime, lawmakers and the public can continue to push the regulators to make sure they are taking enforcement actions as needed. Okay. Hey. Am I covering the Alexis HODLstein AMA? That's exactly what we're doing here. Very cool. Okay, so Alexis HODLstein on the SEC. So she thinks that the previous administration is a little too laissez-faire. Makes sense. That's the point of conservatism. Timothy John says, desk job gave me 2 herniated discs, compressed spinal cord, and unable to sit anymore, so be careful with your back. Thank you. I need to stand more often. I need a standing desk. Oh, please your Insta for my dog Sarah. Timothy John. Timothy John. Did your doctor tell you how to fix your back? I'm still trying to find out myself. Haven't seen your dog yet, so just send it again. Oh my gosh, we're only 60 followers from 4,000 on Instagram. So close. Meatball's embarrassed now. Andrew keeps wiping his eye boogies on camera. It's true. Okay, let's keep going for the Alexis HODLstein. So there's a good slide on page 37 that, oh, this is actually a pretty decent question. Can OTC be used to manipulate price movement downward between 2 funds theoretically? Oh, this is a great question. Can off exchanges or over-the-counter exchanges be used to manipulate price movement downwards between 2 funds theoretically if they decided to do so between the 0.001 decimal trades and massive numbers? Also, is OTC trading able to make trades of shorted shares while the SSR is in effect? Alexis HODLstein says there are few different kinds of OTC, so it'd be good to understand what you mean by OTC. Good, I agree. Right, dark pool and light pool. If you mean simply off-exchange trading, most retail orders are being executed off-exchange due to the incentives market makers provide via payment for order flow. Some critics, like Sal Arnook, believe that these off-exchange trading creates worse prices for retail. Right? We talked about his entire testimony earlier. And then Neil Diamond Hand says, thanks. I watched the stream that day and there are many things going on at the time, so I'll read over this for sure. And then Alexis just offers some more information. Oh, this is from 8 days ago. There is a good slide on page 37 of Dennis Kelleher's testimony that illustrates the 3 venues orders can be executed on. Internalizers, right, market makers, Citadel and Virtue. Dark pools or ATS, alternate trading systems. Lit exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange or the NASDAQ. The data shown here is showing non-ATS, so that's non-dark pool. It means things in the first category. But again, this is Citadel executing orders for others, like maybe people in this forum, not for itself, as far as she is aware. So this is an important distinction here. What's the next catalyst? 005. We just talked about 005 in the beginning of this live stream. Really good joke. Okay, so two big picture thoughts. One, it is extremely difficult to understand what Citadel complete positions are. That's due to a real lack of transparency in the reporting that hedge funds are required to do. And they're not going to report more than they need to, that's for sure. Hedge funds managing $100 million or more of a certain type of securities do have some reporting requirements. These happen quarterly through a form called the 13F. However, they only need to report certain kinds of securities, and they don't need to report short stock sales or short option positions. That makes it hard to understand what a fund is doing or what their net position is. She thinks that a transparency into hedge fund positions would be good for market makers overall. I think that that's just her overall positions today. Hold on a sec, almost done. Ugh. Pull down. Okay, number two is I do think the regulators need to be closely monitoring the repo markets, the repurchase markets, and seeing if there are places where reforms are needed. It has potential for a source of real risk from the financial system. You want to read more about repos? I thought she was going to point to 8-bit. Apparently not. Okay, so we can read this later from Alexis. But this is I guess she's like, yeah, if I have sources, I'm not going to point to a Redditor. I'm going to point to someone from like a website that's not Reddit. A lot of questions. I'm going to start a new one now. 4. In the short term, a lot of changes can happen with the laws we have now. SEC should consider changing reporting requirements on the Form 13F to bring about more transparency. Here's a recent letter she helped write on the topic. The Financial Stability Oversight Council is able to designate non-banks in order to bring more oversight regulation to the Fed to these entities. Senator Warren asked blah, 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 blah. Here's a video of their exchange. Ooh. Oh, this is helpful. Oh, this is very helpful.
In 2008 to investment.
Okay. So I think I'm just going to do a straight up like summary of what is important that Alexis has been covering today. I think overall it's been pretty much the exact same stuff. It's been about repo markets, and then the SEC should change about their 13Fs. Okay, so in that sense, I'm going to make a whole video about this. So let's go back to my face. Let me do this. Then there's this Twitter thing going on. Perfect. Great. Excellent. And this. Look at J Powell, so handsome. What is a repo anyway? What is one of them? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. That way. Can I ask you a question? Oh my god, she's asking other people questions? Holy moly. I like how organized she is. She's like, hey, that question, answered it. This question in my other article. This question, you got it. No worries. What did she say? Python. She's a Python girl. Oh my god, stop it. Good. Whew. Okay, the official AMA, Alexis HODLstein. So here we go. Hey guys, oh, I always say hey you guys. I gotta say Moon Platoon, what's going on? Hey, Moon Platoon, we have Alexis HODLstein, or Alexis Goldstein. She is doing an AMA here on the subreddit RGME, right? She's giving her time. If you guys don't know who she is, well, this is, let's open it up right here. She is a senior policy advisor. Here's a little bit about her, right? The House Financial Services Committee. She talked over here about the second hearing in GameStop. She started as a programmer in Morgan Stanley in electronic trading, and then was a business analyst for Merrill Lynch and Deutsche Bank in equity derivatives. So she has a wrinkly brain, and I want to give you guys a quick overview on exactly what she covered through this AMA so that you guys don't have to. There are big, sweeping similarities in the ways that she's answered most of these questions. So I want to be able to say, here are the most important points that she wants you to know about. So first of all, she is a Python girl. So there we go. In programming languages, she's partial to Python. You can do so much with so little code. And she is a Linux or a Mac girl, but she needs to crunch things in Excel. It's nice to have access to a Windows machine. Cannot agree more about that. Well, now for more important purposes, there are two big picture thoughts about what she thinks SEC should do in order to step in and answer questions. This was a question asked by Renzel. And she also has a feeling about exactly how much more data democratization, the more data transparency these hedge funds should actually go into. So let's cover exactly her words verbatim. It is very difficult to truly understand what Citadel is. It's very difficult to truly understand what Citadel, the hedge fund's complete positions are. Remember, Citadel has multiple arms. That's why she has to be specific. That's due to the real lack of transparency in the reporting that hedge funds are required to do. Hedge funds managing $100 million or more of certain types of securities do have some reporting requirements. These happen quarterly through a form called the 13F. However, they only need to report certain kinds of securities, and they don't need to report stock short sales or short option positions. That makes it hard to know what fund is doing and what their net position is. She thinks that there is transparency into hedge fund positions that would be good for the market overall. And here's a recent letter that she wrote on the topic. She does think that regulators do need to be closely monitoring the repo markets, right, the repurchase markets, and seeing if there are places where reforms are needed. It has the potential to be a source of real risk to the financial system. If you want to read more about repo markets, we talked about it in extensive detail with A. Tobit, who came on the show yesterday in a surprise interview. He was the one that wrote the BlackRock bag holders, the Citadel has no clothes, and most importantly, the bombshell that mortgage-backed securities back in 2008 have just repackaged themselves as repurchase agreements, repos, and that is the everything short. If you guys have desire to learn a little bit more, we do have this article lined up for us to learn more about repo markets towards the end of the video. And hey, this is a good reminder, if you guys have not yet smashed that like button, please do so. Helps other Space Apes and Moon Platoon members find this video because it defeats the YouTube algorithm with us. And more importantly, smashing that subscribe, because we're on our way to 100K and we would like to have you with us. 100,000 subscribers for the win. So now on to what she thinks the SEC should be doing. In the short term, a lot of things can happen with the laws that we have through actions by the regulators. And this is parroting a lot of the sentiment that the Republican lawmakers had when they were asking questions about whether or not the SEC has the ability to actually start enforcing the rules that the Democrats want to be enforced. The SEC should consider changing reporting requirements on Form 13F to bring about more transparency. The Financial Stability Oversight Council is able to designate non-banks, be they hedge funds or asset managers or something else, as systemically important in order to bring about oversight regulation by the Fed to these entities. Senator Warren asked Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen about this in a recent hearing, regardless of the asset manager BlackRock. So here is a video clip of their exchange. Let's go check it out right now. And this is a quick 2-minute exchange between a senator and the head of the Treasury, Secretary of Treasury, Janet Yellen.
Companies, Bear Stearns and Lehman. But it isn't just banks that pose a risk to the economy. In 2008, 2 investment companies, Bear Stearns and Lehman Brothers, failed, triggering the 2008 crash. So when Congress passed Dodd-Frank, they created the Financial Stability Oversight Council, or FSOC, and gave it the power to designate non-bank firms as too big to fail, or in the terms of the statute, to designate them as systemically important, which means they get the same stronger oversight as the too big to fail banks. Is that right, Chair Powell?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so let's look at an example of how that's working today. BlackRock is the world's largest asset management firm, overseeing nearly $9 trillion in assets. That's more than double where it was 10 years ago. It also holds a stake in just about every company listed on the S&P 500. To put that in perspective, BlackRock manages more assets than the entire GDP of Japan, or Germany, or Great Britain, or any other nation in the world except the United States and China. And it's not just size. BlackRock also runs a technology platform that currently houses at least 10% of all the stocks and bonds around the world. So, Secretary Yellen, just hypothetically, if a $9 trillion investment company failed, would that likely have a significant impact on our economy?
Well, Senator Warren, I believe it's important to look very carefully at the risk posed by asset management industry, including BlackRock and other firms. And the FSOC began to do that, I believe, in 2016 and 2017. But the risks it focused on were ones having to do with open-end mutual funds that can experience massive withdrawals and be forced to sell off assets that could create fire sales.
Oh, okay. That scared me. I was like, whoa, the hedgies have gotten us. Well, that's the main point right now, is that can BlackRock actually exist, or should it exist, as a too important to fail financial entity, even though it's not part of the federal government. So that is something that we have also covered live. So if you guys haven't turned on notifications yet, that is something that you will miss out next time it happens. So make sure that you have already. Let's see. Okay, so that is the main idea right here, that we have the Don't Fight the Vol, Alexis HODLstein, giver of her time to the Reddit community, doing a Ask Her Anything and talking about how the SEC should point out that there should be more data transparency in the 13Fs. They only update once a quarter. Let me see if I can find this. Yeah, well, they only update once a quarter, and this is one of the most important pieces, that they don't have to report on all of their they don't even have to report on all of their securities, and this makes it much more incentivized for them to hide their positions, of which specifically their short positions we need to know more about as people participating in the market. So democratize that data. I promised that we would cover what is a repo market briefly, so we will. This is Jerome Powell speaking on September 18th, right? It looks a lot like when he spoke back in March as well. On March 17th, amid the market turbulence caused by the coronavirus pandemic, the Fed introduced the Primary Dealer Credit Facility, or PDCF. The Fed had first created the facility during the 2007-2008 financial crisis to alleviate severe strains in the repo market. While mostly invisible to the public at large, the repo market plays an important role in the transmission of monetary policy. It is also a critical source of financing for non-bank financial firms, including securities brokerage houses and real estate investment trusts that specialize in mortgages. It is one of the organizations created, and it's important for us to be able to understand exactly what a repurchase agreement is. At the end of 2019, financial firms relied on the repo markets for over $4 trillion in borrowed funds to support their activities. So trillion with a T. This is why this is so important for the liquidity of the global markets. We had Adobit explain it like a pawn shop, right? Sometimes you need money, but sometimes instead of having money, all you have is stuff. So you go to the pawn shop, you drop off some of your stuff, and then you take cash that you'll have to repay later, and your stuff is collateral. The repo market has shown signs of strain even before the onset of the pandemic, but these difficulties appear to have been rather technical in nature and unrelated to fears of imminent recession. On September 17, 2019, repo market interest rates spiked dramatically higher. This precipitated a great deal of concern and discussion among market participants and policymakers. Initial explanations for the rate spike focused on U.S. Treasury financing operations in the aftermath of a period in which the Fed had substantially contracted the reserves of the banking system. But the discussion soon gravitated toward the roles played by some of the major policy changes that had been implemented in response to the financial crisis. These included changes in the Fed's monetary policy, operating framework, and changes in bank regulatory and supervisory policies, especially in the area of bank liquidity management. Taking a long-term perspective, it is hardly surprising that the functioning of the repo markets changed in response to the financial crisis. Throughout the post-World War II period, repo markets have repeatedly adapted to changing circumstances. So, as a reminder, this is not a new thing, right? This repo markets have existed for a while, but it is just a brand new device, the vehicle, like the mortgage-backed securities, that the hedge funds that don't care who they hurt, who at the end of the day are going to take advantage of. Market evolves, so let's just briefly go through this, right? The US repo market has been changing a good amount. The repo market grew in the early 1980s. The series of bankruptcy highlighted the number of legal and structural problems. Most notably, let's find out what kind of problems there are. There was a widespread presumption that their repos were unlike other collateralized loans in one crucial respect. They were thought by many to be exempt from the bankruptcy code's automatic stay provision. This was a technical assumption that made a big difference because an exemption from the automatic stay provision would imply that the repo collateral would not become tied up in bankruptcy proceedings of indeterminate length, and that repo lenders would be able to sell collateral immediately in the event of a default. Okay, a little bit of confusion there. The courts ultimately decided. This is talking about Lion Capital Group. Very interesting, because Lion Capital Group is actually no, I'm thinking of a different group in the 2000s. Financial crisis here in 2004, 2007. So this actually played a big role in the financial crisis in 2008. In just 4 years between December 2003 and 2007, asset-to-equity ratio of U.S. broker-dealers ballooned from 24-1 to 35-1, and this balance sheet expansion relied heavily on repo borrowing. What's going on, Dr. Certifiable? Thanks for joining us at Monkey. Lehman Brothers in particular relied heavily on the tri-party repo market to finance its securities inventory. Although Lehman continued to present itself as solvent in its quarterly financial reports, market observers became increasingly skeptical, right? This is where Lehman Brothers were putting down their mortgage-backed securities and saying that this was an asset, whereas it was actually a liability. The firm finally became... Oh, here. This is the sentence right here. It was, in addition to questionable asset valuation methods, it was later discovered the firm had misrepresented its leverage by improperly pushing certain repo liabilities off its balance sheet at the end of 2007 and early 2008. So it's not only the brand new mortgage-backed security. It was used, repo agreements were used all the way back in 2008 to screw over the economy before. So as a reminder, this is something that was broken in 2008 and still, even though there might be some reforms coming out of the woodwork, not enough is being done, according to Alexis HODLstein. So I'm going to scroll down and see if this is going to be more changes. Yeah, I'm going to not only link this in the description so you guys can read more about it later, but I'm also going to link the AMA so you guys can crawl through it yourself if you guys still have any questions about what she wants to cover. Most importantly, guys, this is a channel where we might actually have Alexis HODLstein on in the future, and I'm crossing my fingers, excited for that. If you guys wanted to support her, she works with a subscription-based newsletter, and I will include the how to sign up for that down below. And finally, if you guys have not yet quite hit that like button, that's okay, it's understandable. Make sure that you do so that other Moon Platoon members can find out about this video. And if you guys want to support the video, this is a good way to join the Moon Platoon, Gorillionaire, or the Meatball the Space Legend tiers by pressing that join button next to the subscribe button. All of these people have done it or have gone down to Patreon, which is also a great way to support the show. And once again, thank you guys for joining us on this beautiful, beautiful Good Friday, and we'll see you in the money. Okay, so this goes in the description. And then, oh, that was scary. Alexis AMA, that goes in the description. Let's see if she has said anything new. What the? Comments. Don't see any questions in here. Yep, I don't see any questions in here. If you guys did have questions, now is the time to ask them. If you guys didn't know, there were more resignations yesterday. Okay, so I'm just collecting my brain real quick. Oh no, it became light. Why did it become light? Okay, now it's dark again. That was scary. Okay, so she thinks that Congress should consider changes to payment for order flow. El dispulo del éxito. Message to Trey. What is discipulo? Hector. What is discipulo?
Discípulo, disciple.
Yeah. Disciple of success? Discipulo del éxito?
Yeah.
Nice. Message to Trey, my man, God bless, get your rest, hope you feel better soon. Gorilla Ape family, Carnalito. Burgers and whiskey soon.
Carnalito, little bro.
Carnalito is little bro? Oh. I'm learning so much Spanish. Will I do a stream, setup, equipment, etc.? You guys might see something sooner rather than later because on the 14th, so far, it's been planned, we do have a Vice documentary recording crew coming to my house and shooting a little bit about the documentary, the interview process, and they're going to be setting up in this apartment. So you might see them on live stream. That might be cool. They specifically said that they want to see the live stream setup. So at the very least, you'll be able to see Hector or my girlfriend shoot them shooting me. That might be fun. Marquise Wilson says, this is my only job. No, I have a nice Silicon Valley data science job. It's kind of like, I think the questions are kind of silly when people are like, prove you're a data scientist. And I'm like, okay, well, prove to me you're a accountant, you know? And then I guess you could. It's easier to prove you're an accountant because you can have like a CPA license. But yes, I have been a data scientist for several different companies. And now the one that I'm currently working at is very cool. And I love them because they allow me to be able to organize my meetings in a way that I can actually focus on live streaming during the most important hours of the market, and then the rest of the day I just work all day. Danny Cases, isn't the market close today? You are right. In fact, let's just forget the market then. Let's just look at my face. Boom. No, actually, we want the market just in case you guys have any questions about what you want to see. I have a master's degree. Master's degree in computational analysis. Oh, didn't my mom call me up for lunch yet? Not yet. Okay, so some thoughts about this here. I also think Congress should consider changes to payment for order flow. Oh, wait, you guys can't see any of that. Boom. Do an outright prohibition as exists in Canada and the UK, require brokers to pass any payment, require brokers for the customers to opt out. Right, we talked about payment for order flow. She's answering like very, she has like one answer every like 7 minutes. So this is actually a really great way to be able to figure out exactly what she wants to say, because she's barely going to do more than like 12 of these a day. Matt Weiler, you're a beast and appreciate a happy Friday. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that. Matt is a beast, in my opinion. Andrew, in my opinion, Carnalito, you are numero uno. Your range is exceptional. No anchor on TV is above you now. You are giving the world a slap to the face with a white glove. Thank you. I don't know about slapping people, but that's very cool. Let's see. That is Ghosto says, I do accounting, but looking forward to my new self-awarded title of Gorillionaire Monkey Executive Post-Squeeze. Heck yeah. Kevin Troxel, yeah. That was crazy yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry. KM. What was the super chat? You can just tell me. Did I report the bot attacks from yesterday YouTube? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I would do that. I think all I have to do is go through the chat or help section. So let me see. Let me go through the chat. See what that does. I'm number 2 in line. I'm connected with Agent Noemi. If you guys remember this old school Gmail sound. Hi Noemi. I received a bot attack that had elements of racism. And I guess I could just send them the link to the proof, because I luckily did that. So here's, oh, actually wait, I need to make that unlisted so that she can see it. Here is a small snippet of proof that lasted for 20 minutes roughly. This video is only 90 seconds to review. Sweet. I'm surprised today's like concurrent viewership is kind of like a Saturday, because I'm surprised that people aren't interested in asking about stocks. Like you totally have all day for me to talk about your stock. So pitch your stocks to me, because this is a great time for you to be able to have me go over it. Randy, what's the page to my left is the AMA right now. We're still doing it. So KM TM, if you draw your pretty lines and analysis of it. Heck yeah. All right, so TM. Oh, that's right. We never went with Toyota. I'm so sorry, KM. Here's time to go. Let's see. Guys, just came in. Did he talk about the 005 rules? Yes, I did. So just go straight up to the very beginning of the video. The beginning of the live stream had covered that. Does WeBull offer good Friday trading? No, the markets are all closed. Lit markets. They're all closed. Hey, Iron Man. I am Iron Man. You're an important financial news source now. These attacks are probably meant to distract you. I appreciate that, Iron Man. Good morning, says California Treasure Hunters. Look into SPFR. Just bought 100 shares. Less. Marcellus Austin. Fuzzy G182 says, hey Andrew, love what you do. I'm a streamer on DLive, same name. Have you looked into Engine Coin? I'm so excited to see where this is going. Sure, we'll take a look at Engine Coin right after Toyota and the SPFR. So let's take a look here. Oh, seems like I am being responded to. Okay, so it looks like Noemi is taking care of whatever that is. Stop it. Muted. Okay, so the Toyota-thon is on. Let's take a look. Interesting bottom. So this is a bottom from the beginning of February. Maybe later today, I have to do some work for my job, so maybe you'll see some actual data science. It's actually very boring. Hi, Andrew and Dog. What happens when DFV options expire in 2 weeks? Well, then he has to either sell them or exercise them. And I'm assuming if I were DFV with call options, I would exercise them to get more shares. But it's up to him. So he has to either sell them or exercise them. But they're deep in the money because he bought them at like 40 bucks. Here's Dog. There you go, bud. Okay, let's draw some pretty lines for Toyota. First thing you'll notice is that in the beginning of March, they started to have an ascending level of resistance and support here. So we can build this channel out here, but it is not going to hold for long. It actually holds until maybe here, and then it kind of goes off the grid. So one of the things that we could do is track how closely it's following this channel now after a series of... So this was overly bullish momentum here, and this is what the momentum should have been naturally. So you could see that this was an overcorrection onto the wrong side. So if you follow this channel here, you'll be able to see that this was a misstep into bullish territory, right? And here you notice, right, the RSI agrees. The RSI is like right around here where my channel diverges from the line during the after hours. The RSI has peaked over, oh my god, almost 85 to 90. So that means overbought. Be really careful. Oh, my back. You're right. So the top of this chart is at 160. This correction came at a pretty opportune time, dropped back down into my channel, and then overcorrected. So as of right now, you can imagine that there is a hard floor here at 150. So this is an important point to note, is that here is that level of support, and that is your risk. You are at risk of dropping down $5. So in general, Toyota seems like a fine entry point right now if it's going to continue on this impulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is next. So I would say a optimistic view is another $5 impulse from 153, which would drop it right at 158. So this is math right there. This impulse is trending over to 158, right? Here. So this is likely in the next few days to try and reach back up to this original channel that we were watching here. Okay, this is just March's momentum, so we haven't looked at anything prior. So if you use March's momentum data, we have projected to either reach 158 by Monday or by midweek. However, this is a tricky question of why did they overcorrect, right? Was there a news catalyst? And at the end of the day, perception is king. So if you don't understand exactly why Toyota had a bullish run outside of that channel, you likely shouldn't be investing in this rip. And you should not be trying to catch the falling knife down here either. However, overall, it seems optimistic. Now let's look at SPFR. And then Paul C says, as a reminder, WeBull restricted trading in January just like Robinhood did. Yes, that's important. They did, however, they restricted it later and they lifted the restriction earlier. And it's what everybody uses if you have like half a brain of the indicators that you should care about. Oh, it's good. But I am moving off to TradingView soon. I finally have figured out exactly the partnership details. They're finally coming around. They were busy this week, and next week we're likely going to have a brand new trading setup with different indicators. Just a bit of a delay. Okay, SPFR, was that it? No. Yes? Yeah, SPFR. Jaws Spitfire. Ooh, that's a cool name. Cam says, that was beautiful. Brings me a tear to my eye that people learn a little bit more about momentum. Ooh. Hey, what's up, Matthew? Matthew Krecklau says, watch Matthew Krecklau. On BreadTube. Have I been to BreadTube before? I'm not sure. Ooh, it's good coffee. I finally got the 8-bit plug for his Instagram, so let's go check it out. It's good, bud. So if you guys have not checked out this, super cool. He only has 113 followers. That's impossible. So this is 8-bit. He works at CBD to be able to help people with his the same thing that he struggled with, the same health condition. So I'm going to not only put it in this description, but I'm also going to add it to the description for his interview. CBD company. Mark Weiss says, do you think platforms should pause trading again? Do you think platforms could pause trading again should the squeeze occur. Yes, there has been no law that said they can't. And those congressional hearings, I feel like they were gearing up to that, but they didn't. They didn't say anything. So at the end of the day, so far, nothing has changed. Can I refresh this page? Is it even possible? Okay, so there we go. Now it's refreshed. Okay, here. Shane Balcom. No work or stock market, but what time do you think we pull out the whiskey? Also, thank you for covering Visa for me. I bought my GME share in return. Cover FUV. FUV, okay? So that's coming after Spitfire. But yeah, the whiskey is always in view. So... and yes, 8-bit will be coming back on the platform for an exclusive rehypothecation DD on this channel alone. If you liked the interview from yesterday, he's coming back. So make sure that you have tuned in. That bell button. I know a bunch of you have already pressed the subscribe button. That bell button is the most important one that you need to press. Okay. Thaddeus Ghostal, do not buy, sell, or hold because of any financial advice people are giving each other. Guys, do not pressure each other to buy stocks. This is not the public forum. Remember, this is exactly what Citadel wants, to paint us as people who are coordinating our prices and our actions. Absolutely not. Right, we're just here to do a little bit of a momentum analysis, and that's it. All right, SPFR. So, let me look at this a little bit closer. So 3 outliers in terms of spikes here, but an overall descending level of resistance that is now trading a little bit sideways. You could note that this looks like a one top to the same resistance. So the same support down here would have supported another rise here. One of the more important pieces is that when this hard floor started to appear, I would have been suspicious, because when you're looking at here, yeah, so that's one of the pieces here. I'm thinking about going through this video and then breaking up some of the momentum analyses and then shaping them into a video. That's what I'm going to try to do, because that's at the very least going to be like an unpopular video because it's not news, but show people that there's momentum analysis done in these live streams. Paul C. Paul C, once again, I am still sticking on this broker. I trade using this broker, but TradingView is not a broker. It's just a way to be able to see your stocks, see different indicators, and this is a platform with a different brand new partnership. But if you don't trust me, then go to Trades Trades, go to Matt Kors, go to Max Meyer. Every single YouTuber uses WeBull. It's unless we're all crazy, this is a great platform. Yes, Jess Kelly, I do remember that. We watched Jim Cramer say that twice. That was weird. Ooh, dividend stocks? Boy, oh boy, I had a serious dividend stock video all the way back in December. So, track that. Undervalued, hold on a sec. Andrew Mo Money, undervalued stocks. Yep. I think we can watch my own video. I think that's allowed. Who asked that question? Oh, Dan O'Leary. Boom. I'm getting worried that whoever's username is illegal drug dealer, you are you're tipping off the YouTube algorithm that that people are talking about drugs in the chat. So I'm not sure if YouTube cares that your name and the content of your name is being reposted over and over. Oh, Philizzy, I appreciate it. Yeah, chart with WeBull. At the very least, this is what I'm saying, guys. Open up a WeBull account. You don't have to fund it. It doesn't matter to me whether you fund it or not. So go open up a WeBull account for free and use it to chart just like me. Do the charting process, and if you like it, use it to buy stocks too. That's what I do. But if you don't like it, buy stocks with TD Ameritrade and chart with WeBull. She's kind of been all over the place. She appears in PBS Frontline documentary Money, Power, and Wall Street, episode 4. Wait, I wonder if I can watch this without. Ooh, I can. Oh, this is NPR. I wonder which part of the episode she shows up in. Which part? This is gonna be me later trying to go through the Netflix or the Vice documentary and do like, which part am I in? So many just people walking around. I'm surprised this doesn't have the Reddit hug of death yet. Well, I'm too dumb to find it. Unless she significantly changed her hair. That's not her. I'm starting to doubt you're actually in this. Unless she's in it for like 30 seconds. Okay, I give up. Oh, found her. Nice.
Circumstances, but we can make a very, very strong case for continuity. Even under the best were. Deep inside. What are the ways that the bank
And I lost her. Well, you guys, you saw that she was in here, right?
Guess what they say.
There we go.
They submitted their proposal to the SEC, the FDIC, and the Fed in the hope that the Volcker rule would be tightened up.
Normally, the only people that comment on these regulations are the industries that are about to be regulated. And you can probably guess what they say, right? They say, this is too harsh. You have to take this out. This is going to ruin our business. They'll say this will ruin the economy.
the cynic in me will say that even under the best circumstances, if this law went through.
Okay. A little. I bet she's in here more, but this is the only piece I found of her. But that's what she looks like, if you guys are curious. And I think FUV is on deck. Let's do FUV real quick. Oh, it's easy. I appreciate that. What's the video, please? I'm going to link it here in the description. Yes, with Alexis in it. Hard to find her though. Okay, Vice is not going to be here on the 14th. They're going to be here earlier. I'm just receiving an email from them. Oh, the 11th would be perfect. 11th would be perfect. I can be free all day. Excellent. So it's going to be on April 11th now, I think. Sounds good. I'm currently live streaming, but please use this link. So if you guys have other ticker symbols to look at, let me know. El discípulo. Do not use any offensive language. Unfortunately, we can't have any of that. Haircut, Andrew. Thank you. I really do need one. Would love one, really. Okay, so we've covered a lot of the Alexis HODLstein DD. We also have, so we have deep in the money, 708,000 FTDs reset today. So we can cover this in just a sec. So this is from 18 hours ago. This is worked with the new CTO for a year. So this is the new CTO of GameStop. Hold on, let's see. We had a pretty risky transformation while we worked together. Although it wasn't customer-facing change, customers would have been massively impacted if they were to fail, and his company would have to suffer big time. Sorry for the vagueness, but the point is it went smoothly thanks to him. And the aspect that looked like it wasn't going smoothly, we set it aside, came up with an alternate plan, and big picture all came together flawlessly in the end. I think mass energy would be ideal for GameStop's transformation. No one wants to rely on corporate PR fluff. Okay. So this person has worked with the CTO of GameStop personally. That's good. I have contacted the SEC regarding the findings of the cyclical ITM deep in the money call activity. The ball is in their court. Okay, sweet. I guess the thing to do would be to contact the relevant SEC individuals. So even Alexis HODLstein talked about contacting your Congress people. Here, if I had to just pick one, this is the question here. Hi Alexis, if we were to push for transparency, should we write to the SEC or write directly to Congress? And Ms. Goldstein says, if you have to pick one, I suggest writing to Congress. If you have time to do both, a great way to weigh in the SEC is through submitting public comment to proposed regulations. This is what the notice and comment period. Here's a list of current proposed rules of the SEC. Did this herself many years ago with a group of folks called Occupy the SEC, right? So she's been part of the Occupy movements. Oh, sweet. So I have permission from C. Charrington to use this as a thumbnail. Thanks for the kind words. This is how stuff works. I'm like, hi, can I please use this as the thumbnail? Of course, thanks for asking. And now we're going to watch me edit it. So this is what it looks like when I do editing. Then we're going to go back to stocks in a second, guys. This is just a little bit of the like behind the scenes here. There's a spaceship. Or just Meatball. So this is Meatball, the spaceship. So this picture's good. And then I go over here, and I pull this one. Did that work? Oh, okay. Everything's short here. Super dope, by the way. Really cool. Everything's short. I hate it. And then, of course, we do credit. We have to credit the author. Hold on. This goes to the back row. People are like, who edits your videos and who makes your thumbnails? With the exception of sometimes, before I started live streaming, Hector was helping, I edit my thumbnails. And it's a grind, believe me. And I edit my videos too. There we go. Perfect. It's good enough for me. And now this is the short. I mean, there's barely any use in changing the thumbnail, especially if the video is already finished. But it adds a little bit of spice. That's the reason why we're actually doing this today. While I'm here, there's some more fan art recently that I want to be able to actually cover. So there's some brand new fan art from someone who just offered to like help with a bunch of thumbnails. That was super cool. What was their name? Their name is... Hold on. Oh my god, so many emails. Wait. Oh, Mason. Mason has just created this absolutely amazing picture here. So that's... Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Moon platoon right there. So that's going to be this thumbnail here. Hold on, so let me, I missed some super chats here, one sec. RJ Lau, thank you so much. Dallas Harvey, how would the delisting of OX LCO affect OX LC, that I am deep? Okay, so we have FUV, OX LC, you're next. And then RJ Lowe is saying, do you trust WeBull for having your GME and AMC? Yes. Matt Weiler says, I know something positive is upon us when we have so much hatred and negativity towards our community's physics. Equal and opposite reaction. Weiler. Oh, that's awesome. I like that. Look at how nice this is. Fan art. If you guys have your own fan art to send, 100%. Send it on over. Okay, what am I going to do here? So I need to... I'll just call this like Mason spaceship. Okay, so oh, look at the beautiful like cosmos here. What am I gonna do? Well, I'm gonna do this. I'm going to crappily cut this out. It's gonna be mucho crappy. There. Now there. There. There, that goes there. This goes here. Yes, there. Yes, and then this goes there. Uh-oh. You know what? I want that moon in there. Yes. Now this is looking worse every second. So here's what we'll do. We'll take the very edge of this. There we go. This is how you make a thumbnail. Oh, okay. This is how you make a thumbnail. Sweet. Okay, you know what? That's actually pretty good. And then we have to clip like 3 times. So we have to clip this image here. Okay, well that didn't stay. That's annoying. There, okay. Boom. Then we have to clip this image here, which I could have kept the same marquee for, but I didn't. Because I am dumb. Oh, okay, great. This didn't clip correctly. I can't really see the cosmos here, so I'm just going to erase a little bit of this. There we go. Well, Mason, I am thoroughly sorry for butchering your art piece, but there. Beautiful. Moon Platoon, courtesy of Mason. Quick export. Save. And now we're going to update this thumbnail directly in front of you. It's crazy. Beautiful. Has a moon in it. What else do you need? Perfect.
Address this guy's super.
Let me see. Oh, Mr. Ryder says, Jamie R 2009 says, have you spoken about the deep in the money calls that were placed yesterday? Okay, so we are going to right here. The beginning of this morning's live stream addressed those deep in the money calls. If you guys aren't aware, we have some. Actually, you know what? Let's just make this full video. Let's do this full video, guys. Okay, so option sonar, GME. So we have these. So someone's doing something about these deep in the money calls. Sorry, FUV. We're coming over to FUV later. First of all, we gotta do GME. Okay, what's going on, y'all? Some of you are funny in the chat. Okay, so the deep in the money calls. Actually, I just want to make sure if I have seen one more thing. This is the Max Payne theory. We've already seen this. This is the 005. Have I copied this yet? 005 here. No, I haven't. 005. And now I'm going to cover whoever super it was that that asked for deep in the money calls. So we see them here. Look at those deep in the money calls. Very scary. Not normal at all. Oh, it's the top post too. Perfect. Okay, so this is deep in the money calls part 2. Let's just go through this entire guy's like journey here. DEJ. So you must have deep in the money calls part 1 and then part 2. This is a whole journey, seriously. Oh, this is the SI's fake guy. SI is fake. Wow. Okay. Does the SEC know if one ape can figure it out by signing up for a free trial of Market Chameleon, then what are the regulators doing? Okay, so this is exactly how he was able to figure out the deep in the money call thing, which we've covered already. I just haven't clipped it yet. And then, so this is how to contact your congressman. They contacted the SEC. So okay, so this is the order that we're going to tell the story. We're going to tell it with the options chain here, and the 29th. I just want to make sure. 29th. I don't want to be wrong. Yes, perfect. Okay. So this article is written before the 31st happened. Then he has part 2, which is 44 million laundered shares that we already found today. So let me just go see the... Jesus, there's so much... Oh my god. Here's the proof for all the individual hallmarks. Huge block size. If you didn't read my original post in SEC paper about exactly what's happening here. Well, it seems like this person should come on the show now. So I'm going to go contact them. There's going to be me giving them a quick chat. Hold on. Da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so, hello. Oh, when 80bit got a message from me, he said, about time. I go by Andrew Mo Money on YouTube. We just had 80bit. We've had 80bit and Warden Elites. Hold on. Hey, it's Pixel and at Rental. Okay, sweet. I also need to just change my name because Data Lead Tech is not working. So I'm gonna go figure out how to do that real quick. And then we're gonna be covering this epic DD, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be super cool. Should I just start another Reddit? Can I? Okay, so I'm wondering if someone's already taken it. Ooh, so I could. Alright, so log out. Uno minuto. Sign up. Continue with Goggle. Okay. Well, a second ago, nobody went by the username Andrew Mo Money, and now it's me. Hooray! But now I'm gonna have to do some stuff. Darn it. Okay, well. This is quite a journey, honestly. Quite a journey. Okay, so there. So this is the story, okay? Look at all those deep in the money calls. Now look at this. Now look at this. Now Alexis HODLstein said you should contact, who should we contact? The SEC, or directly to Congress? And then he contacted the SEC. So that's this complete story here. And we're gonna talk about it now. You guys excited? I'm a little bit excited. The problem is I don't want to be able to, I don't want to have to like fall into this. So I'm gonna, this would otherwise be like a 40-minute video. So first things first, I'm gonna add all of these to the description. So we have DEJF's DD thread. Oh man. Oh shoot. Oh wait, not this one. Yeah, it wasn't this one. It was this one. These three. I think my very first follower on Reddit. I'm gonna unsubscribe now. I'm gonna unsubscribe from these Reddit notifications. But thank you, Nazuka242. You're my first follower now, which is very cool. This is what YouTube used to do. When you had a public following, you would be able to stop people from, you would be able to see people publicly follow you. Let's see. Okay, so once again, I just wanted to follow the markets for today, but this was a request to explain what the deep in the money calls are. In fact, let me just see if I can find that super. Whoever it was, can you stand up and so I can clip your question, deep in the money calls? Jamie R 2009. So Jamie, this is for you. Are you still here? Hey, can you ask your question again so I can clip it? We're trying to make this a full-fledged video here. Fonz 145 says, I went homeless after losing my home in 2008. I now sit with 1100 AMC and 104 GME. I have a story to tell. Would you like a 5 to 10 minute interview? Big HODLman fan. We are not leaving. Fonz, you sound like a person that I would like to talk to. So email me at Andrew Mo Business. Let's see if we can set something up. That sounds very cool. Daz, that sounds like a ticket to a bad place. I'll check it out later. King831 says, I saw one of the greatest points on Reddit like yesterday. That has to be an operative point to GME. If both these stocks gonna fail, why are they trying so hard to convince me to sell? We've been talking about this for a while. If they're gonna fail, then they have nothing to worry about, right? It's more suspicious that the mainstream media wants you to believe so much, because that's the most annoying part. Boop boop boop. Thank you, Jamie R. 2009. Boom. Up. So this is my cyclical diagram of the. Whoa. Okay, so we're almost ready. Let's cut out this for now. Okay, so Mr. Whiteboard, take us away. Eugene's like, if we need to talk about your chair, fair enough. I'm getting a new chair. Guy Angelo, yeah, Microvision and Microsoft were working with the HoloLens technology, right? So Microsoft was the one that ultimately triggered the Microvision's RIP. However, once again, these RIPs are dangerous. Do not try to catch a runaway stock. Where am I? Someone says the nerdy look. I didn't realize this was nerdy. I thought I was being cool. Look at my little anchors here. Isn't that cool? I don't know. Meatball. Moon Platoon, you know what's cooler than a frosty meatball on a hot summer morning? Well, it is Mr. Whiteboard. Excuse me, Meatball. We're going to explain a question by a live stream viewer, Jamie R. 2009. Could you please comment on the deep in the money calls placed yesterday? Yeah, I could. You're likely asking about this. 120 million or so in the money calls, but normally this wouldn't be surprising. However, these are deep in the money. There are calls from $3 all the way to $20, right? And GME, if you guys aren't aware, is trading far, far above that. So why did this happen? And why did this happen again? This was on the 31st yesterday, and it happened on the 29th as well. Not as severe, right? We only have about 15 here, 6 here, 5 here, roughly about 25 million or so. But these were in one far greater, right? About $60 to $100 or so, 90 bucks, and a much less volume, right? So who is doing this? Well, we've explained this before in several different videos. Let's have Mr. Whiteboard explain this. Excuse me. We have hedge funds taking the opportunity from the market maker here. Let's assume that these guys, let's put names on them. This is Melvin and this is Citadel. Melvin has to hurt the price right here. So with the selling action, they are taking a naked short. They are borrowing from the ether, and when they do, that produces negative price downward pressure. Now they have all these failures to delivers because they've essentially borrowed from nobody. They don't have anybody that they've actually borrowed the stocks from to sell them. So what can they do? Well, the market makers can send them synthetic longs down here. And so when they get these synthetic longs, they can start to reset the failure to deliver timer. And now to pass these deep in the money calls back to the market maker, they use this to earmark exactly what types of synthetic longs are getting passed back to the market maker. Now the market maker is net neutral, right? They sold longs, synthetic longs, so they became in a short position, and then ultimately they were passed back the synthetic longs, and now they are neutral, whereas the hedge funds stay short. However, they get their FTDs cycled through. So now that we have a visual explanation of this, let's go through a little bit of a journey that hopefully we will not take too long on, because we have DEJF2, user DEJF2's research from a day ago, talking about how the SI percent is fake, and then from 20 hours ago, Deep in the Money calls activity part 2, right? And we were covering Alexis HODLstein AMA, and when someone was asking what would be the most effective play, writing to the SEC to file complaints or writing directly to Congress, she said if you could do both, would be great, but she recommends writing to the senators and congressperson. Well, guess who just did that? Yes, DEJF 2. 4 hours ago, he wrote to the SEC regarding his findings. And what are those findings exactly? Well, if you guys stick to the end of this video, make sure to smash that like button so that more Moon Platoon apes find out about that intuitive visual understanding, as well as this deep in-depth understanding from just one person who bought a Market Chameleon free trial membership and found out all about this. I think it's going to be a good ride, and I'm excited to run with you. So once again, I don't want to block Meatball, so let me pull this up a little bit and let's get started. So too long didn't read. On March 31st, $52 million were spent simultaneously on deep in the money call options for GME, ranging from $3 to $19, right? This is the deep in the money calls that happened. None of the previous days show such activity. We have seen this stuff in the past already. Today, he tries to size the rabbit hole. Back in February, a bunch of apes identified weird transactions taking place in deep in the money calls, mainly at $12 and $15. First, people thought it was a kind of oddball bullish play, but it soon transpired that these never appear in the open interest. They are seemingly immediately exercised. So the SEC paper discusses the mechanism of this practice. Remember, all three of these articles are linked in the description, so go show this post some love. In fact, upvote. Okay, you guys can't see, but make sure to upvote. In one evening, he identified approximately 30 call option strikes and expiries that they believe have been used for this practice since January 1st. And he believes that he has traced where approximately 44 million missing GME shares have been hidden cumulatively. He proves that they are not organic activity by identifying their hallmarks, and that this practice is taking place cyclically. The deep in the money call anomalies are back March 31st, and this is the same option sonar that we just saw. You ready to go down this rabbit hole? What would take going to make it nice and snappy? After tallying up the historical volume of the type of call options used for this exercise today, he's determined that the 6th and 8th of March were the heaviest days for this activity, with 8,000 plus contracts traded across April 16, $7 to $19 call strike options, and November 4.5 call. January 2022, $3 call. The following are his favorites, right? April 16th, $12 and $15 calls. These were clear patterns that would jump out at anyone, so they were heavily abused in the last week of February, first week of March. So he goes through, finds a couple of these data points. There are way more. Furthermore, this is not new. This is where the rabbit hole starts to get interesting. This stuff was happening way before any of us knew what a stonk was. Below, they can see the process of the rabbit hole from the 10th of March activity to identifying manipulated strikes that led him to believe that something has been happening rampantly before the January rally. You are free to go through these screenshots yourself. But now is the most important piece, the full timeline of this activity. So what we have here are three different stages, right? The silence before the storm, like some of you in the live chat love to talk about the silence before the storm. 6.5 million FTDs are reset right here. And the mad scramble here, right? 30 million FTDs reset between these 9 trading days, and then 14 trading days of buffer, nothing to see here. 11 trading days of FTDs reset, 7.5 million, and then another 13 trading days. So this is the cycle that we are visually experiencing right here. You may think that this volume of call options around the squeeze time may have to do with people who are diamond-handed, them selling or exercising. Are they getting out, paper handing? No. Identified the highest volume options on January 27th and looked at the actual trades. So what does this activity actually correlate with? Let's get some data from EOR, from S3. GME short interest is $2 billion, 10 million shares shorted, about 20% of the float, 16.5% S3 SI percent float, and 0.82% fee, right? Superimpose this with what he says. S3 partners short interest versus deep in the money call option anomalies. Please note that these charts are not perfectly aligned. It was aligned to the end, i.e. to March 28th. So we have this small arrow right here. This deep in the money call anomalies are happening later on here. and we can see this correlation with the price. Number one, the shorts are buying what they can on the open market to close some positions during these times and resetting the FTD clock on the remainder of the practice. And number two, the rising price puts their position at more risk as they scramble to reset the FTDs. Seems pretty simple. It's actually pretty simple. And if you still don't understand, hey, drop me a comment and I'm hopefully going to be able to drive you to the right place. However, here, number one, the 13th of January, aka the day when people realized DFE might be right? People started jumping on with great intention to get to the moon. 22nd of January, there was the FTDs reset that day, and 3 million a day were reset until January 27th. January 27th, the day really squoze, right? This is the first gamma squeeze, got to 347. Immediately, 6.5 million FTDs were reset that day. February 24th, aka the day we understood we aren't crazy, right? That rally starting at 3:15 p.m. to close $91. They may be wrong, but they invite to think that they could be wrong and improve our shared understanding. This is the point, right? Guys, don't take this as complete truth. Take this as a method for people with money to stay in power with more money. In fact, we even covered DTCC-005 recently in this live stream, and you guys should check out that video about how DTC is starting to create a brand new break to this cyclical pattern that we've seen here before, basically not allowing a share to be borrowed more than once. That cyclicality could be the breaking point here. Does the SEC know? This is the scary part. Of course. Here's the quoted section from the 2013 paper. It seems like in 2013, we covered exactly how they do synthetic longs in 2013. They have had a bunch of their information from their website be how to do illegal bad stuff since 2013. So they've known for a good amount of time. This is the second transaction to reset the clock. You guys can go cover it a little bit more detail. If one ape can figure it out by signing up for a free trial of Market Chameleon, what are the regulators doing? Let's find out, right? We have deep in the money calls activity part 2 already, so we aren't just breaking this up into another video. Guys, tune in next time for this video. We provide the most value right up front. Right, so once again, show this post some love, right? Give it a quick upvote, as well as give this video a quick upvote by pressing that like button so that more space apes can find out about it. Too long didn't read. So yesterday, March 31st, the weird deep in the money call options started happening again, right? So they started down that rabbit hole. Why is this huge? This is a quick summary. Number one, this activity for one reason or another is cyclical. And number two, the cycles are getting tighter and more brutal, right? We're tired of playing a little kid's game. They want to break our will right away. So altogether, we are on the second day of a deep call activity cycle. April 1st, 10,000 contracts, 1 million shares laundered, FTDs reset, whatever you want to call it. 3 times as much as yesterday. Good on you, Kenny G. We saw these charts already. Our anomalies versus SEC failed to deliver data. So this is the same information as before, just a quick update. Let's see right here. So here's proof for all these individual trades from April 1st. Hallmarks: huge block size compared to open interest, same strikes and expiries as used before, 4 trades buying all of those strikes and expiries at these timestamps, and of course the PHLX exchange. If you didn't read his post before, this is the SEC paper that he was talking about earlier that was very likely happening here. So they know how to get this done, and this is for smoking guns about how this could be done, right? Once again, still a hypothesis, so make sure that you, I've reached out to this creator of the DD to see if he has more to say, just like 8-bit coming on the show. More than welcome to pitch people who might want to be able to join the show in that regard. Once again, Alexis HODLstein was the one that said you should be contacting your congressman unless you have time to do both. And it seems like the DEJF 2 did have time to check out the SEC. And you wanted it, it's the right thing to do, so it's been done. He has essentially become the whistleblower to the SEC. Any of you can do this, actually. The thing to do is to contact the relevant SEC individuals, your state, Senate, and Congress representatives, and quote the submission number as urgently in need of investigation. So you can help as well. Here's that submission number, 16173-7932. 005 if you want to just pile on and upvote his SEC submission in the grander metaphor of upvoting. If you guys wanted a link to be able to contact the SEC, you guys got it, right? So here is the list of all current proposed rules at the SEC. So I'll be able to send this out with the description in the video here, as well as all of the posts that DEJF2 has written. So hopefully that gave you a holistic understanding of Jamie R. 2009's question, what is the deep in the money calls placed yesterday? It could be, given the SEC's 2013 papers about exactly how to do this, cyclical FTDs covering, and with the new DTCC-005 rule, we could see an end to that coming up soon. If you guys like this video, once again, we'd really appreciative if you do place a like on this video so that more apes find out about it. And we will see you likely on this sheet one of these days, right? Being able to support the show by either pressing the join button after you press that subscribe button, and the bell button really does make a difference and supports the learning process for beginners and expert veterans alike. Hope you guys enjoyed that video, and we'll see you in the money. Okay, that's that. Guess I'll add a stream marker here. I'm not consistent, but I will be one day. So... okay, so... I am going to have to log in and then log back out because I forgot to tell everyone that I have a brand new Reddit. So I'm going to log in. I'm going to say goodbye. Let's see. Oh, he responded. Hey, thanks. Happy Easter. Christmas. Just covered all 3 posts. Literally right now. Can you message me at... I just created that account. Great job. I'm going to talk to Alexis HODLstein. Great job with the AMA so far. Been covering your questions, your answers on live stream. For future convo, send it out there. So now I log out, maybe for the last time. And then I log back in. Okay, I think I missed a super at least, so let me see. Eugene says, I've been watching all morning when Professor Meatball barked at my dog, intently watching now. Yes! Your dog, the DTCC. Heck yeah. Okie doke. Let me know when you would want to come on. Saturday would be good. Or later this afternoon. So DEJF2 sounded like he was interested in coming on, so that's going to be a brand new surprise interview. Why do my joints crack so much? Oh. I believe the AMC voting situation is not going to be relevant until May the 4th. I don't want to spread misinformation though, so let me know. Oh, Engine Coin. Okay. So the thing about Engine Coin is that that's likely not going to be on WeBull. It's not. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to pull it up on Coin Watch or whatever it's called. CoinDesk. Wait, not CoinDesk. Hold on. Yes, CoinDesk. Engine Coin. People have been talking about that Engine Coin. So here's an Engine Coin. Whoa, okay. Let's look at it in the 1 year. Month. Cool. Engine raises 18.9 million in private token sale. Okay. Blockchain platform Engine secured a multi-million-dollar funding raise in a bid to migrate to upcoming public blockchain Efinity to Polkadot. According to a press release shared with CoinDesk, Engine has secured $18.9 million in a private token sale led by Crypto.com. Let's see. Additional support for the raise came from Hypersphere, Block Tower, Blockchain.com Ventures, Fen Bushi, Iconium. Okay, so now they have millions of dollars. Boba, thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Can I have a banh mi sandwich, please? Oh, that's rough. I see that message in Discord. Someone was asking for critical, for a critical look at the mother of all short squeezes. So if you guys want me to cover it, you guys asked for it. However, anyone who is scrolling through Miss HODLstein's AMA should be able to see that too. And now I'm wondering if RGME is... Because at the very least, if Kramer showed up, you would have known what Kramer was going to say. You're like, oh, Kramer, he's going to, you know, knock the mother of all short squeezes and we don't care. But allowing someone who is skeptical of it to come in and then now talk about it is likely going to make the mods be like, uh-oh. Engine to tackle soaring gas fees, scaling with new blockchain products. Okay, so I'm almost done looking at the news for Engine, and then we're going to actually look at the price momentum. Dubbed JumpNet and Efinity. Wait, it's called JumpNet and Efinity? Brian Hansen says, everything... Someone recently added to the Everything Short DD. Just emailed you the link. Check it out if you have a minute. If you haven't checked it out yet, okay? I'll check it out. You are a rock star. Added you to the store and thumbnail. How would you like to be credited? Everything short addendum. Ooh. Thank you, Brian Hansen. Michael Burry handed us a missing piece on the silver plate. I blah 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 blah. Okay, wait, hold on. Wow, this is a long DD. Maybe I'll cover this DD in the afternoon. I need to create a little Reddit avatar, I think. So create a little bit of like a little cute little Reddit avatar.
Okay.
Oh, you wanted to?
No, you can make it on. You can customize it.
I know.
And
Should I do it right now?
I mean, like, ask the people. Do you want to make it with you?
Do you guys want me to make the Reddit avatar right here? Let me know. After, of course, we talk about engine. What is AMA? Abe from Sweden asking. It's Ask Me Anything. So it's kind of like a live interview, but with Reddit. It's live enough. It's not live. It's not that live. Let's see. Against the backdrop of soaring gas fees on the Ethereum network, blockchain platform Engine is looking to tackle scaling and interoperability. According to a press release shared by CoinDesk on Wednesday, the platform will be releasing 2 new offerings it claims will redefine the non-fungible token NFT market. Dubbed JumpNet and Efinity, the company says its 2 blockchain solutions will increase support for NFTs while removing Ethereum's expensive gas fees from the equation altogether. Ah, gotcha. So actually, let's call this DTCC-005 Cyclical FTDs. I think you're right. It's almost like the CEO is playing an April Fool's joke on us. Yeah. Okay. I see Vlad Hernandez's do it. So I'm gonna finish up Engine then. Engine seems like it's in a position in an interesting place at the very least. In the beginning of March, it was trading underneath $1, and then I can't draw any lines on here. But wait, can I? No, I can't. But what I see is just a pretty natural impulse wave here. So this impulsed a subwave of $1.80, so a 90-cent subwave here, a 30-cent subwave here, or 40-cent subwave, and then another 90-cent subwave. This is actually a full dollar. So a full dollar here. This started a corrective wave here, and now it has a period of consolidation. I would say that this is not a bad entry point, considering how it peaked earlier and it hasn't returned to its peak quite yet. So it's about 50 cents away from its peak. I would imagine that this coin, based on the news that I've read, is having a good future ahead of it. A better entry point, if you don't want to enter quite yet, is waiting for it to either recontest this $2 support. Once again, crypto doesn't act the exact same way as markets, but most of momentum trading is supply and demand. So it's agreement, guessing, and then agreement again. Agreement, speculation, agreement. That's how the market works. So as of right now, I would say Engine Coins, most excellent entry point is somewhere closer to $2. But if you are impatient, entering now and seeing whether we can test at $3 is perfectly acceptable. Although I can't give you any financial advice, you guys know what it is. Yep, Engine Coin. Sweet. Okay, in that case, let's go back to WeBull briefly. And then let's make that Reddit avatar. Let's randomize. How's that look?
Where's the end of it?
I'm Warden. Oh! Oh! Ah! E! This one's kind of cute. Okay. We should somehow, like, get more people involved in creating this avatar. Like, somehow get people to be like, hey, if you want to add something to this avatar, it might be fun.
No, just make it now.
Or like you know,
Can I change it?
people can submit their ideas for the avatar. Oh, Red Riding Hood, that's kind of cool. Ooh, cool, cool. Oh, this is straight up Rentals. Let's start here. I think this is legitimately Rentals. So that's, you guys saw it, right? I was pressing random. So let's start with a new face.
Can't even see your eyes.
Yeah, I gotta see my eyes. Take off the glasses. Take off those glasses, bud. Oh no, took off the entire thing.
Oh no, can't put that.
Oh no. Freckles. This might take too long.
No.
No? There we go. Should I go E? I kind of like E. Blue eyes, brown eyes, green eyes. Oh, I can just choose a different color. We have fun here. That's the color of the show, I think. Winston from Overwatch. Oh man. Is this like a where have you been? But I don't wear glasses. I don't wear like real glasses. I wear blind people glasses. Where did my diamond hands go? Darn it. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Back to the koala. Yes. Wow, half of them are koalas. People really like that koala outfit. Oh, thank you. I'm a sandwich. And you added extra vegetables. Wow. What did I deserve? What did I do to deserve this? Can Professor and Meatball's avatar sit next to yours? I really want that to be a thing, but I don't think so. If you guys do have, so now I will say is the time to give me your ticker symbol suggestions, and so I'll do 2, 3 more, and then I'll come back for, I guess not power hour, I'll just come back later. Wait a sec, shoot. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to be back in a sec. Be back in a hot sec. Actually, you know what? This is a good time to end. Okay, so I will be back in a few hours. So enjoy the clips so far. Hope you guys enjoy the stream so far here. And we will see you soon. So have a good morning.